And we are live. I think we're live. Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us. Let us know if you can see us and you can hear us okay. Mark's joining me this evening, and Pete.
Hello.
We're going to be doing a 3-player tutorial and playthrough of Trismegistus, the new edition, which is going to be coming to GameFound later this month. I believe the 22nd of May is the date when it's going to be going live. So what you see here today is a prototype copy of the game, and we've all played the game. We are all experts at the game. I've literally been downstairs in the garage making gold out of lead, and what we're going to be doing is a rolling teach. Now, a few things before we start. This is a sponsored playthrough, so big thank you to Board and Dice for sponsoring this. What that means is you're not going to get any of our opinions, our personal opinions on the game. We're here to show you how the game plays and help you make a decision about whether it's the kind of game you want to back and you want to play, or get a friend to back so that you can go around to their house and play their copy. But we're going to be showing you the rules, and then we're going to be playing it. As I mentioned, this is a prototype copy of the game. We are using, I believe, some slightly deluxe components. I don't quite know the details, but what I will tell you is that when I got this box, it had 2 types of components in it. So, for example, these books, I got cardboard tokens, which I left in the box, and I got sent these in an extra bag. So I assume these are some kind of deluxe extra add-on. The rules that we're playing with tonight are the rules as of today. The game is still in development, but don't let that put you off. I think it's probably 98% done, but they are tweaking a couple of things. So if you're watching this video in, like, I don't know, a year's time when the game comes out, yeah, there is something that we use tonight that might tweak slightly. And if you have watched, or if you are going to watch anybody else's videos that they are creating on this game using their prototype, you may notice some differences between what we show you tonight and theirs. That's because I have the very latest version. I have been printing off some slight modifications based on the latest rules. And I can tell you now, I don't have the final latest ones. They've added something else this week that I've chosen not to use tonight. But yes, just so you know, prototype copy of the game might be different from other people that cover the game, but it will give you a good idea of how it plays. Right, that said, I assume we're all working. Yes, we're all working. Excellent. And Casper is here from Board and Dice. So if you have any specific questions about the game that I can't answer, hopefully he'll be able to answer them. He's one of the developers of the game. He'll be keeping us honest tonight and making sure that none of us cheat. For example, starting on 10 victory points when they should start on 0. I mean, who would... Or starting on 24 victory points.
34, is that okay?
Yeah. So, what are we trying to do in this game? I'll give you a high-level overview of the game first, and then what we'll do is we'll start explaining the rules in more detail as we play through them. We are alchemists, and we are kind of transmuting various metals. We're trying to transmute them into gold, but that's not the actual aim of the game. That's kind of a byproduct. What we're trying to do is trying to get points. We play over 3 rounds, and we're going to be drafting dice. Dice are going to be appearing here on this board, and we're going to be drafting those dice. Dice will have a certain amount of potency. We will then be using those dice to perform various actions. So one of the things that we're doing in the game, and this is a big part of the game, is performing experiments. We are all going to start the game with 1 experiment in our hand. We can pick up more experiments over the course of the game, but in order to do experiments, we need to have a certain level of knowledge, or whatever it is, in one of these areas. Basically, there's 4 tracks in the game, so you need to have a certain amount of knowledge in that area. You need to spend certain metals, and then you do the experiment. And your experiment, you'll get various rewards, but you'll get points from it. Points are important because that's how you win the game. But also, doing experiments is going to unlock some of your books. You can put the books in your library. That's going to unlock some more bonuses. And you're also trying to achieve your 3 end-of-game scoring objectives. So, off camera, before we started playing, each of us got dealt 3 of these, what they called?
Theory tiles?
Theory tiles, that's it. Now, the theory tiles come in 3 different categories. One of them is going to give points for all of the experiments that I've done, and bonus points for a particular colour. One of them is for artifacts. Again, it's going to give me points for every artifact I collect, and bonus points for artifacts of a particular colour. And then the other one is going to get me points based on the lowest that I have reached on 2 tracks. So this tile will show 2 of the tracks, and I work out what the lowest one is. Over the course of the game, I'm going to be assigning these theory tiles to my sideboard here, and that's going to get me points at the end of the game as well. So, yeah, without further ado, let's jump in and start. So we're playing over 3 rounds. At the start of the game, each of us gets given 2 artifacts and 2 experiments. We have each chosen which experiment we want to start with, and I've just put the other ones here. Where's the rest of the ones? The rest of the ones. Okay, we're going to go there. And then the artifact that we start with, this artifact is going to go into one of the 3 slots on your playboard. So you have a slot that is dedicated to black transmutations, one that's dedicated to white transmutation, was the one that's dedicated to red. That will make more sense later on. But essentially, as soon as you get an artifact, you assign it to one of the 3 things, and normally, during the game, every time you get a new artifact, you immediately get to resolve its ability. Not with the starting one. Your starting one is yours, but you don't get to resolve the ability. But the one thing you do is, and I'm actually just going to show you this on my sideboard now, because I've mentioned the sideboard. I've mentioned that this is going to be worth points at the end of the game, but only if I have completed all of these. If I have placed, and I don't know what these are going to look like in the final version, but if I have placed a green gem on each of these 4 things here, then that means this is going to be worth points at the end of the game. So this one's harder to do because I need to have put 5 things on it. And your starting artifact gives you a particular element icon. So I can now put a green gem over a blue thing on the board. And I'm actually going to go for the big one. Now, the first time in the game that you put a gem into a section, you then decide what that section is going to be. So I'm going to show you this. This is going to be done in secret. But I tell you what, I'm going to go for this one, right? So this is the one that I'm going to try and do the most of, because it's going to be worth 3 points for each. So that goes face down there. And that's because I've put a gem in that section. And as soon as you do that, you get to put one of those tiles in there. Right. Then I'm going to put that there. Then we've chosen our starting experiments. Is that it? I think we're good to go.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to give you a quick whistle-stop tour of my player board before we go any further. So we've all got slightly different player boards. The only thing that's slightly different about them is this bit of the board, okay? But the left-hand side of the board, we've all got the same. What we've got is we've got all of the different metals down here. So we have some lead, we have some copper, we have tin, we have mercury, and we have iron. And then we have silver here, and then we have gold. And if you look at these different arrows, this is how you can transmute one thing into another. So there are 3 different types of transmutation in the game: black, white, and red. And there is also yellow, or the gold arrow, which is known as refining. So for example, if I got the ability to refine something, I could refine this copper here, which is unrefined copper, into refined copper. That's not transmuting, that is just refining. But if I got the ability to do a black transmutation, I could, for example, move this along here, and suddenly that unrefined copper would transmute into refined tin. Is that tin? That's tin, yes. Isn't it? Yes. Now, every time you transmute something, not refine it, you have to use an essence or mercury. We'll come on to mercury in a minute. There are 3 different essences in the game. There's ether, the salt, and the sulfur. So every time you do a transmutation, you get a better metal, but you have to use one of these. But don't worry, because spending these is what moves you up the track. Instead of using one of these, you could use mercury. And if you use mercury, you move up this track. So this is the track that you move up if you use salt, this one if you use ether, this one if you use sulfur, and this one if you use mercury. Moving up the tracks is useful for a number of things. First of all, points at the end of the game if you get really high. Second, in order to do an experiment, you need to be at a certain level. And in round 1, the requirements for the experiments are normally 2 or 3. When we get to round 2, the requirements are, is it like 4 or 5?
Something like that.
And then in round 3, it's like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
So in the game that we played this afternoon, I left it way too long to do a grey experiment, and I hadn't moved up this track at all. And then we got to round 3, and I drew these cards, and I was like, yeah, I can't do that. No way I can do that. So yeah, gets your points at the end of the game, allows you to do experiments, and if you reach point 4 and 8, you get a bonus. Again, we'll come on to that later on. But that is essentially how the game works. And you will need different metals in order to do experiments. And everybody starts with unrefined lead, unrefined copper, unrefined tin, and unrefined iron. Right, is that enough of an overview? I think that's enough of an overview. So, every round, 3 rounds, First thing we do is we
Roll the dice.
roll the dice. So in a 3-player game, there are 5 dice of each colour.
And we're all rolling to take some of the blame.
Yes. Okay, and then what we do is we're going to place those dice onto the appropriate spaces here based on the symbol on the dice. So all of those dice, every single one of them has the same 6 faces on them. 5 for the different types of metal, not counting silver and gold, and 1 which is a wild card, which is at the end. The colours, they are relevant as well. And when you are drafting a dice, you want to make a decision based on the symbol that's on the dice, the colour of the dice, and the number of the dice that are in the section that you are taking from, because that is the dice's potency. If we ever have 6 or more in one section, we re-roll those dice until there isn't, and that could actually then cause a cascade effect onto another one. But anyway, we don't have 6 or more. We then need to deal out 6 experiments from the round 1 experiments, and I need to take 6 artifacts from the bag of artifacts. I'm going to put these down here. These jars, by the way, these were from Board and Dice. These don't come as part of the game. And the dice rolling tray is mine. That doesn't come with the game either. The table also does not come with the game. And Mark and Pete do not come in the box, just so you know. You're going to have to find your own friends or use the solo mode. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? You buy a board game and open it up. And there's...
Hello.
Right. Okay, that, I believe, is the setup for round 1. Now, if this was round 2, there would be some extra little bits, because each of us has a battery. We can use the battery once per round. When you use it, you flip it over. That's going to come back at the end of round 1. Also, your artifacts, once you activate an artifact, it flips over. That's going to come back at the start of round 2 as well. Okay, so what you do on your turn? Well, first of all, if you have no dice on your little track here, then you must take a dice. If you already have a dice, you must use that dice rather than taking a new one. So I have a choice. I can literally take any of the dice. We've randomly decided that I'm going first. But one of the things that you need to be aware of is the potency of the dice, which is essentially how many things you're going to get to do with it. And if you look here, we've been quite lucky because there's 4 of these. So if I take one of those, the dice that I take, whichever one I take, is going to have a potency of 4. That's really powerful. Now, the advantage of taking one of these dice is it's wild. That means when I take it, I can set it to whatever I want. And there's 1 of every colour. So this rule is still not 100% decided upon, but this is the rule we're playing with today. I'm obviously going to take one of the wild dice, because why not? And I think I'm going to take a white one. So 2 things happen when I take a wild dice. First of all, I set it on potency 4 because there were 4 dice there. But because it was wild, I choose which side to put it on. And I'm going to, based on what I need... Oh, don't do it again, Paul.
Go on, it'll work this time.
It'll work this time. Right, I am going to set it to iron. Okay, so I've taken a white dice, potency 4, and I've set it to iron. And the reason why I've set it to iron, well, I have to, but I now get 1 iron. So if you take one of these dice, you immediately get a lead. If you take one of these, you immediately get a copper. If you take one of these, you immediately get a tin. These generate you mercury. These generate you iron. And this, you can choose what to set it to. So I've chosen to set it to iron, which means I have gained some iron. Right, now I've taken a dice. I now perform 1 action. I'm not going to look at this during the game because I know how to play. But don't worry, if you think what I'm going to explain over the next half hour is a bit complicated, the game's going to come with player aids. And they are going to look much nicer than me printing these out on my laser printer at home. But there are player aids that give you, step by step, everything that happens at the start of the round and all of the different main actions that you can do. I have to take 1 main action on my turn, but in addition to that main action, I can perform lots and lots of free actions. So I'm just going to go through briefly what the 5 main actions are. I can use potency in order to generate more metals of that type. So I could literally, if I wanted to, I could spend 2 potency to generate 2 more iron, because that's what the symbol on the dice is. I could do that. Alternatively, I can use potency to generate essences. These are the 3 essences in the game. And what you do is you look at the type of metal, which is iron. And for iron, It's any essence. So I could use 2 potency, and I could have any 2 essences, 2 the same if I wanted to. That's 2 things you can do. The third thing you can do is you can transmute. Now, at this point, the colour of the dice is important. So for every potency that I use, I get to do 1 transmute based on the colour of the dice. So if we have a look at my board again, a white transmute is moving something along a white arrow. So with 1 white transmute, I could turn this unrefined tin into refined mercury. And then if I had a second one, I could move it and turn it into refined iron. So a white transmute will allow me to move something along the white arrows. And I could, if I wanted to, just do 1. And then I'd do 1 transmute, and then it'd be the next player's turn. And then on my next turn, I do another 1, and I can do another. You can slow play if you want to, or you can say, I'm going to do 3, and then you can do 3 white transmutes. There are advantages of doing lots of stuff at once, because you then get to take another dice earlier. So that's 3 actions: gaining metals, gaining essences, transmuting.
You need essences.
I did, yes. So to do a transmute, you need essences or mercury. We'll see that more later on.
Yeah.
The 4th main action you can do is to buy an experiment card. So we have 6 experiment cards out. Every single experiment card takes you 1 potency to take, but the colour of the dice is important. I've got a white dice. That means I can only take from this white section. If the dice was black, I could take it from here. And if the dice was red, I could take it from here. You take the experiment, it goes into your hand. You can have no more than 2 in hand, and you need the experiments to do them. And the 5th and final main action you're probably thinking is do an experiment. It's not. Doing an experiment is a free action. So the 5th action is to buy an artifact. Now, artifacts are very expensive in this game because they're very powerful, but it costs you 3 potency. And if you want to buy one of these artifacts, you need to use potency from a black dice. One of these artifacts is potency from a white dice, and one of these artifacts is potency from a red dice. So they're the 5 main actions. There's lots of different free actions. We'll explain them as we go on. And as I mentioned, doing an experiment is actually a free action. Just before we start, we need to make sure player 2. You start with one of those. Player 3, you start with one of those. There is scaling benefits based on player order. Do you want to pop them here? Popping your stuff here so we can see them. Right, and I'll mention what those do in a minute. So I've taken my dice. I now get to perform 1 main action, but I can do 3 actions before that if I wanted to. So what am I going to do? I don't know. Well, I know I need that, and I know I need that. Do I want to buy one of these artifacts? I need to look at what my things are. Okay, I'll tell you what, I think I will. I'm doing it. Right, I'm spending 3 potency, and it's white, so I get to buy one of these white artifacts, and I'm going to buy this one. So an artifact, when you get it, it's got another symbol on. So again, if we look at my sideboard, I am going to cover up one of these yellow icons, because that's what's on there. I can now assign this to one of the 3 sections. You can have a maximum of 2 artifacts per section. So you can only ever have 6 during the whole game. I'm actually going to put it here. And then whenever you gain an artifact, you get to use its ability. Now, that's not activating it. Activating it is using its ability and flipping it over. I am just going to get to use its ability. So I gain an Aqua Regis bottle. Now, what this can do is on my turn, I can use this to temporarily change the colour of my dice to anything I want it to, like purple or octarine or something. And the second thing is I gain 1 unrefined mercury. Okay, so I bought an artifact, I got the element token, I got the abilities on it, we get a new artifact. That's the artifacts.
Bag of mystery.
Yeah, and I think that's it. I think that is my turn done. I'm not going to do anything else just yet. So, Pete, your go.
Can I have that black question mark, please?
The black question mark. What would you like the question mark to be?
The question mark, I think, is going to be. I think it will be Mercury. So let's have a 3 of Mercury.
Yeah. So you gain 1 Mercury. There you go.
Yeah.
Have some
Thank you
Mercury.
very much.
Now, you may notice this, but each of us has a special player power. So these were chosen before the game started. I think you draft these in reverse player order, and each one is 2-sided. and you can choose to play with either side. But essentially, each of us has a special power. Pete's special power is he's very good with artifacts. So every artifact that Pete buys is only going to cost him 2 instead of 3.
And I'm going to take advantage of that
I would.
immediately. I'm going to spend 2
Potency.
2 potency.
2 potency, and I'm going to take this artifact, this one, and I'm going to place it here.
So it's black. You have a black dice, so we're good.
And it's blue.
It's got a
so
blue
it's
element.
a blue crystal that goes on there.
Yep.
And also I get to go up the yellow track
The air.
by 1.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Any free actions that you want to do on your turn?
No.
Right, Mark.
Okay, I may be doing
Is
that.
Pete's question mark on 3 or 4? It was on 3 because there were 3 dice there when he took it, and normally buying an artifact costs 3 potency, but Pete's special ability means he only has to pay 2 for it.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, you didn't take it from there, you took it from here. But yes, it was 3 either way.
So I may be doing something very similar to everyone else.
Are you
But
going to
I'm
buy an
gonna-
artifact?
I'm going to demonstrate some new exciting things.
New exciting things, right? Okay.
So I'm actually going to take it from here. And
Uh-huh.
the reason for that is my... Oh, that's the wrong
Oh,
colour.
but
That's the wrong colour. That's unfortunate. I had a really... Oh, it's fine. I'll take it from here.
yeah. So Mark's character power is anytime he drafts a dice where he could have got more potency if he'd have took one from somewhere else, he gains an unrefined lead. Is that it?
That's right.
Yeah, that's it. Okay.
So I'm going to take it here instead because I want a white die. Then I'm going to set that to copper.
So
which
you gain
means
a
I
copper,
Gain a copper.
and it's 2 potency, which means you gain a lead for your character power.
Yep, that's right.
Okay. What are you going to do with that 2 potency?
So I'm going to demonstrate
Aha.
these.
So these are potency tokens. Pete started with 1 because he was player 2. Mark started with 2 because he was player 3. These can be used to add 1 potency to something that you're already doing. So you cannot use these just on their own as 1 potency, but they can add to what you're already doing. So Mark is spending
1 potency along with the 2 from
2 from
the
that
dice,
to give you the 3 to buy an artifact.
Yep. which exhausts this die.
Yes, so that dice is now used and gone, and you will draft and use 3 dice over the course of each round.
So I will then...
It's white, so which one would you like?
I am taking this one.
Yep. So you immediately move 1 up the fire track,
Immediately move up the fire track.
and you've got a red element.
Do gain a red element. Now, I've already filled in the only red element here, so
Okay.
I'm putting it on a wild instead.
Yeah, so you could put it on a wild in the same
Let's
section.
continue
Yeah.
on with this one since I've committed to
Right.
score that.
Back to me. So I'm going to have another look at my experiment. I'm just going to show you my experiment on screen so that you can see what it is. So this is my experiment that I've got, if it'll focus. There you go. So you can see that I need to have 3 or more of that track, and I need to have 1 unrefined iron and 2 refined copper. Now you can always use refined metal instead of unrefined. So yeah, as long as I've got an iron and I've got 2 refined copper and I've got 3 or more on the yellow track, then I can do the experiment. I don't have that yet, but I'm going to aim to get that done. So I've got 1 white potency left. I could use that to take another experiment. And I think I'm going to. Yeah, I'm going to use that 1 remaining potency, and it's white. So I can take an experiment from here, and I'm going to take that one. That goes into my hand, and then we get a new one. Now, do I want to do any free actions? Which I can actually still do on my turn. And yeah, I don't think I'm going to move up these anytime soon. So, hang on, where am I? I'm at 0 on all of the tracks. Yeah, no, I'm good for now. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, in that case, my turn. I will use the 1 potency of my black die, exhausting it. 1 point gets me an experiment.
So you're copying me, basically.
Basically, that's what I. Have you not noticed? That's what I always do when we.
So how did you win the last game by like 40 points then?
I got well.
By not copying me.
By not copying. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. I'm
That's it.
taking an experiment. That's my go.
But are you doing any free actions?
I'm not doing any free actions.
Okay. Mark.
So I don't have a die now.
No. So on your turn, if you don't have a die in this section, which is where Mark is, he has to now take another die. So because Mark has spent his potency before us, it means he's going to get to take a second die before we do. And the advantage of that is there's more dice left.
Indeed. Actually, this does work out. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a black die, an iron black die.
Mm-hmm.
So that goes on potency 3. I don't trigger my ability because that was the highest potency option. But I do gain an unrefined iron. But then I actually have to do stuff. So the question is, what are those things? I am simply going to gain an essence, and I'm going to gain some salt.
Okay.
Where's the rest of my essences? I forgot to take them at the start of the game.
You should have one of each to start with.
Yes. I'm adding to my collection.
Okay.
And that's it.
So how did you get the salt?
I
Oh, you
spent
just used one
potency
essence.
because for...
Yeah,
iron die, you
it can
just
take any.
pick one.
So when you're using potency to take essences, iron gets you an essence of your choice. Right. So I need to take a dice now. Now they're all 2s apart from that one, which is a 1. So what element do I need for this? Well, I need that. And the colour is important if I wanted to buy a card or an artifact.
Yep.
Which I'm not doing at the moment. So in fact, the colour for me doesn't matter.
It's also important for transmuting lines.
It is, isn't it? Oh, I don't want red then. Red's bad. Oh, okay. Right. Well, I wasn't going to do that, but actually...
Sometimes the dice speak to you.
But unfortunately, I would need... Right, okay. No, we can do this. So this is copper. Copper, if I use it, would get me that. If I want that, I need to take that. Oh, it doesn't work. Right, so, I mean, I do have this. I can change the colour of my dice, but I kind of want to save that for when it's really important. And I've also got this.
Yeah.
That could be very, very useful. But I want to do this. I want to do a white transmutation this turn. That's going to get me that. And then I kind of want to do a... Okay, right. I'm going to take this dice. So it's potency 2, because there's 2 dice there. It gets me... What is it? It's a tin. So I get some unrefined tin. And then I am going to use 1 potency from that dice to take some sulfur. Right. And then... Does it work? No, it doesn't work. No, it's fine. It's fine. No, it's not fine. No, I'm good. I'm gonna hang fire. I was about to use my battery, but I'm gonna wait. No, hang on. Casper will correct me on this if I'm wrong. I think you can only activate 1 artifact per turn.
Yeah. That's what I remember.
So if I was to transmute with this,
Yep.
and then also transmute with this, I can't use
both.
I can't use both. Is that right, Casper? If it is, I will need to do a transmutation this turn so that I can then activate the other artifact on my next turn.
Correct. 1 per turn.
1 per turn. Okay, so I am going to use my battery. So let me show you my battery. So this is a battery. Every player starts with 1 of these. If it's going to focus, it's going to focus. It might focus. There you go. And you can flip it over to do either 2 transmutations of any type. So you can do 2 black, 2 white, 2 red, or 1 of each. Or you can flip back over an artifact which has already been used. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to do 2 transmutations. So let's go through this. Let's show you my player board. The first transmutation that I'm going to do is going to be a black transmutation. So I'm going to transmute this lead, this unrefined lead, into copper. So that's one black transmutation. To do that, I am going to spend this sulfur. We'll come on to what that does in a minute, but basically I move that along there and I do that. Now, because I have done a black transmutation, I can activate one of the artifacts in this section. So I'm going to activate this artifact here, which gets me another Aqua Regis, so that's that, and it gets me some more unrefined mercury. Then I'm going to do my second transmutation, and at this point I'm going to transmute what am I going to transmute? I think this is oh, and that's that done.
You get the...
I did get, yeah, I got the things and I flipped it over. So my second transmute is actually going to be red. Yeah, I'm going to do a red transmutation, and I'm going to move this iron. No, that wouldn't work, because then I've messed that up. I need to leave that iron. That iron needs to stay there. So this one is actually going to be a white transmutation, and it's going to go along there. And for that white transmutation, I am going to use this. So I've basically done two transmutations. The black one got me to trigger this artifact. The white one would normally get me to trigger this artifact, but you can only trigger one artifact a turn. And all of that was a free action from me using my battery. So what happens when I use sulfur to transmute is I move 2 spaces up on the sulfur track. There you go, which is exactly what I need for doing this experiment. However, I no longer have the stuff to do the experiment because I've transmuted it into copper. But anyway, we'll come back to that later on.
Fine, you can find it.
I can work it out somehow. Pete, your go.
Okay. Right. Well, I think what I'm going to do is take the black
Iron.
Yep.
So potency 2.
Now
You get a free iron.
I get a free iron. I'll have a Morphe Richards, please.
Other irons are available.
I'll do my trousers with it later. Right. Now what I'm going to do, just confirm for me that I'm able to do this. So if I do a
No, you're not. It's illegal.
Sure.
Yeah.
Show me where it says that in the.
I'll add it to the rule book.
Stop
quickly.
changing the rule. Okay. If I transmogrify.
Yep.
Transmutate. Sorry. If I transmutate at strength 2.
Yeah, you can do 2 black transmutations.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use this.
Yep. So just 1 plus 1.
1 plus the token.
Yep. So you do
gives me a
2
strength of 2.
2 black transmutations.
I'm going to transmutate that one
using an essence or mercury.
Using an essence.
Yep.
And the essence I'm going to use is going to be
Ether, which moves you up on that track. Okay, so that's 1 transmutation done.
Okay, spent that. And then I'm going to use the...
Yep, so that moves you 1 up on
the yellow...
this track.
Ether.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you've got a second black transmutation.
Which will be this one.
Using
sulfur.
Yeah, so that moves you up 1 on this track.
On the sulfur track.
Yeah.
Fire track. Now, so that's my
That
action.
was your main action, yep.
So now
You're
I
doing
can
an
take the free
experiment.
action of doing an experiment.
Okay.
I have a refined tin. I have refined
Copper. And you have
Spent.
2 or more
And I
on
have
the yellow
2
track.
or more on the yellow track.
So Pete's basically done what I was trying to do, but better. He's done his stuff in order to meet the requirements of his card.
And that gets me a free
Unrefined mercury.
Unrefined mercury.
And any 1 essence.
Any 1 essence.
What would you like?
Would
you like some salt?
I think I will have some ether, I think,
Yeah.
please.
And 3 points.
3 points, yes.
But the important thing is, we mentioned this briefly earlier on, Pete has just done his first yellow experiment.
Ooh.
So what that means is, if you have a look at player, but this is my player board, not Pete's, but he's done his first yellow experiment. So he's going to take his book here, and he's going to place it somewhere in his library. Now, what that does is it unlocks this bonus. So every other yellow experiment that Pete does his mastery requirement is 1 fewer. Also, once you have completed an entire row or column, you get to resolve both of the bonuses on either side or top or bottom. So the more books you put in here, the better. And there is also points at the end of the game. Huge amount of points at the end of the game. What was the winning score earlier on? 120 something? Yeah.
Something like that.
So if you get all 7 books or 7 of your 8 books in your library, it's 36 points. That's a lot. Now, if Pete does another yellow experiment, he does not unlock his other book. You are only allowed to unlock 1 book of each type with experiments. So even if Pete was to do 8 experiments in yellow, he only ever unlocks 1 book. The way you unlock the second book is by spending gold. And that's one of the uses for the gold. And we'll see that later on. So you've moved the book into your library. And it's it. That's it. That is your first experiment done. Congratulations.
Oh, and my reward for
Oh,
doing
yes.
that.
It also gets you an element. So because it was a yellow experiment, he gets to put in a marker on his sideboard on one of the yellow spaces.
And then I get to
You
put
have to choose.
this.
Because you've chosen a new section, you get to put a thing in it. Right, Mark.
And because you put the second one in, you might as well put.
You
the
might
other
as well put the first one in. Yeah.
Okay. So Paul, you were saying about sometimes there's a reason you might want to slow play it.
Yes, so that you can use artifacts.
Fantastic. So I'm going to demonstrate that. I could do 2 transmutations, but I'm just doing 1.
Yep.
Spending
Using the salt.
Salt.
So that moves you up on this track.
Yeah. Because that allows me to use one of these artifacts, and then if I do it again, I can use
You
the
can
other.
use the other one next turn. Yeah.
So I'll take this one. It gets me an Aqua Regis and
And a potency marker.
potency marker, which
Nice.
I will put where we can actually see them.
Yeah. And what are you transmuting?
Oh yeah, that. I suppose that's important. I'm going to transmute some unrefined copper to refined tin for unspecified reasons.
Okay. Right. So I've met the requirement for this, but I don't have the stuff. So I'm going to need the stuff. But I've got this. So I've got to use this first. Oh, yeah, which is why I wanted to do that. Yeah, we're all good. I know what I'm doing. I'm going to use that 1 potency to do 1 white transmutation. And the white transmutation is going to be using ether. So I'm going to move up on the ether track. And I'm going to transmute... it's white. So I'm going to transmute this mercury into refined iron. Okay, so that was my main action. Oh, and because I did that, I get to flip this over. So this is 1 Aqua Regis, and I move up 1 on the lowest, on one of my lowest tracks. So I pick a track in which I'm the lowest on, which is this one or this one, and I move 1 up that. So I'm going to choose this one.
You've been burned by that track before.
Yeah, by not doing it. This time I am doing it.
Yeah.
So we're all good. Right. And that's it. I'm not doing any free actions because experiments are for losers. That's what it says.
I agree.
That's what it says in the appendix.
It's even done with a backwards Z.
Yeah. Pete, you still have 1 potency left.
I will be spending that 1 potency. So I have 1 point to spend.
So you can buy a card, you can take some iron, you can do a black transmutation, or you could take any essence.
Can't do a black transmutation.
Okay.
Because I haven't got any. So I think I'm going to be taking essence.
Yep. So it's any essence for iron.
I think it's going to be sulfur.
Right.
I think that's my go.
So all your experiments are going to be a bit stinky.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
At least you can blame the experiment. Anyway.
1 potency left on a black iron dice.
Yes. So I'm going to do another transmute.
Yep. Using salt.
Spending salt.
Move you another one up here.
Yep. And then that it's going to be transmuting this.
Which gets you to use the other artifact,
It does indeed, which
So-
moves me up the sulfur track.
which is here, which is there.
Okay.
Okay.
Artifacts have been successfully used. I'm going to betray what I was saying earlier and say that artifacts are for winners. No, experiments are for winners.
Okay. So you need 2 up on the blue track, which you've
Yeah.
got.
I require 2 refined tin,
2 refined tin.
which I have,
Wow.
And then that allows me to go 1 up on
One up
the
on the Mercury track.
Yep, and I gain 2 Acroregius.
Oh, nice. Didn't you end the game with like 5 of those?
Yes. Maybe I should use these this time.
And 3 points.
And 3 points.
And your first blue book.
And that is my first blue. And I'm going to continue on this experiment so I don't have to make any other decisions for these ones yet.
Right. So I think I've worked out how I can do the thing that I'm trying to do. I think. But I'm not sure. So I don't have a dice in my active section, so I'm going to take this one. It's potency 2, because there's 2 dice there. It's lead, so I immediately gain a lead. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use 1 potency. Or do I use 2?
Depends on if you want to end the round early.
Oh, no, I need that. Oh, I think I might have messed this up. Okay, how can I get out of this? I can get out of this. We're okay. I'm going to use... Yeah, no, I messed that up. I've read that wrong. Okay, so I'm just going to use 1. I'm going to use 1 potency. I'm going to use 1 potency of a lead to gain another lead. So I now have 2 lead. So I have the 2 lead, but I'm missing the refined mercury. I think I had some, but I left it behind the bed, and the mouse have sneaked off with it.
Given it's poisonous, they probably won't have gone.
No, that's true. I've left it there
together.
deliberately.
Yeah.
I'm deciding whether to... So here's the thing. I'm deciding whether to just leave these experiments for round 2.
As Chad's pointed out, I did just remember they pointed out I do need to place this book. Go ahead whilst I decide that.
It's tricky. It's really tricky. I think I'm going to do something a little unusual. And I'm actually going to, instead of just using 1 potency for lead, I'm going to use a 2nd potency for another lead. And then I have no dice left, which means I will be passing first, which means I'll go first next round. But it does mean that I'm ending this round not having done any experiments.
Which means you can't get any next round until you've done 1.
No, but I am almost set for doing both of these experiments. Right, okay. Whew. Pete, your go. What dice would you like?
Oh. This is tricky because
We just shake that one, see which one it shows. That's the one you pick.
That's the one you pick.
the experiment I want to do, I can't. And the necessary thing that I need to do in order to be able to do it is proving to be tricky. But I think I should be able to somehow make it happen. I've got that.
You've still got your battery. You've still got
my
your battery.
Still got my battery.
Definitely not forgetting it there at all.
So the battery isn't going to help me with that. Can it help me with that?
And it's white transmutation for you. That's really good.
Yes. And I definitely want to do that. So I think what I'm going to do is take a white die.
Mm-hmm.
Which one?
Do you want some tin or do you want some iron?
I think I might take some tin, please.
So it's potency 1.
It's only potency 1. So
you immediately get some tin.
get some tin. Some tin, here it is. Tin me up. And then I'll do a white transmutation. I will turn this into refined mercury.
Yep.
And using sulfur.
Sulfur, so that moves you up here.
Moves me up 1 on the fire track.
Yep. And you get to activate that. So you get 2 different essences.
2 different essences.
Yeah.
They're both going to be sulfur.
2 different essences.
Oh, sorry. They're both going to be the same.
The sulfur
one of
looks a
those and
little
one of those.
different.
Yeah.
Okay.
The red sulfur and yellow sulfur.
Okay. And that flips the artifact
That
over.
flips the artifact over.
Any free actions?
I choose not to at this moment.
Okay. Mark, to draft your third.
You
And
don't want to
final
use
dice?
your battery before the
You got your battery?
round ends.
Um,
You don't have to.
Oh, probably should.
sorry, I got that completely wrong. I was going to use the battery instead of the power on the die
Oh, fair enough.
to do 2 transmutations.
Okay, well, we
Is
can
that-
undo that.
Yeah.
Is that okay? Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
So put back the red and the yellow. Undo taking that. Undo that.
Take that back.
What was it you used? You used sulfur.
Yes.
Okay. So you've
So-
taken the die of value 1
Yes.
and you gained the iron. So we need to put back the transmutation as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry.
Rewind that. So you've taken the die of value 1. Right. And now you're going to use the battery.
Now I'm going to use the battery, and the battery I'm going to do
2
2
transmutes.
transmutes.
So one of them is the thing that we... Yeah.
One of them is going to do that.
So you do that. You spend the sulfur. You move up on here. You activate the artifact. And you get those 2 things.
Mhm.
Right.
Yep.
That's 1 done.
And then the
Second
second
transmute.
transmute is going to be.
Iron.
Oh, let's do this. Do that.
Yeah. Iron into silver.
Iron into silver.
That's a red.
Using
Using-
the salt. No. Using the using the sulfur.
Using the
So I
sulfur.
go up to
So
3.
you're on 3.
Or I could. Oh, interesting.
Mm.
Could use.
Could use ether.
I could use. Let's use ether instead.
Okay, so by Pete using ether, he has reached, and I'll show you this on this camera, he has reached position 4, and you see next to position 4 there's a little green mark. That means Pete gets one of these. Now these are bonus tiles. There's 5 of them in a 3-player game, and Pete basically chooses one of them and gets the bonus on it, and then it's gone. So which one would you like?
I'm going to take this one.
So that is 1 up on any one of the tracks.
The track I'm going to choose to go up on is
Sulfur?
yes, sulfur.
Basically the same thing, but
Slightly better.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And
you've
then-
done your battery.
That's my back.
You haven't actually done a main action yet.
So my main action will be. What's that? I can use that. I've got one of those. Okay, I'll use.
So you
that.
can use that to gain some sulfur or some more tin.
I think I'll use it to get, or I could use it to get a card, an experiment.
Or an experiment. It's white, so you can take one of those 2.
Let's take this one.
Mark.
Yes. I'm going to draft a red copper die,
Mm-hmm.
which is potency 2,
Gaining a free copper.
gaining me a copper. And then I'm going to spend 1 potency to take an experiment card from this area.
Yeah.
I'm taking this experiment.
It's me. I pass. So the first player to pass grabs first position next round. That's me done.
I pass.
You're passing as well. Mark still has 1 potency left.
Action. I will spend this plus potency
So
marker,
that's 2 potency.
and I'm taking 2 ether.
2 ether. Yeah. And
Just-
then it's back round to you again.
No, because that's
Oh, that was 10.
yeah.
Right.
And then well, it is back round to me, but I'm passing.
You pass. Right. Okay, so we're done. That's the end of the first round. So we set up for the next round. That is the turn
sorry,
order.
I'm not done.
Oh, he's not done. He's got his battery. 2 transmutations using 2 ether.
Which then means I can actually finish this experiment.
Oh, we're doing an experiment. Okay.
Yes. So this
Quickly sneaked in.
this has got me to
You're on position 2.
okay, never mind then.
No, do it next time.
I'm almost there.
Okay, so end of the round. Start of next round. Turn order is based on the order in which people pass. Your artifacts flip over. Your battery flips over. Now, all of the artifacts are going to go. Casper will confirm this, because it's not currently in the rulebook we had, but I think all of the artifacts go. And we now move on to the round 2 artifacts. So these are bigger, better, faster, stronger. Correct? Yep. Okay. So they come out. Now the experiments is slightly different. What happens is the rightmost 3 experiments, they are going to get placed in a kind of yesterday's experiments pile. They can be taken for one potency of any colour. And then what we do is we slide the rest of them down, and we then get experiments from the round 2 deck. So yeah, those experiments, they're slightly off camera, but just be aware, once they're gone, you can actually buy them for 1 potency. Right, do you want to give them a shuffle and we'll get 3 out? And let's get 6 new artifacts. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. And this is also a good time just to check that we all have the correct element tokens on here. So I should have a blue and a yellow, and I've done no experiments. Pete, you've got a blue and a yellow, and you've also done a yellow experiment. And Mark, you've got 3 as well?
Yep, because I've got 2
Okay.
artifacts.
Don't forget to refresh your artifacts.
That's a very good point.
I think that's it. I think that is it for the stuff. And then am I red?
You're red.
Okay, off we go. For those people watching live who have played the original version of the game, let us know what you think about the new version. I'll be honest, it's been many years since I played the original version, so I don't remember too much about it. I don't remember what's different from this version to the original. I know there are differences, but I don't quite know them. It's me first, isn't it? Right. This is the turn I'm actually going to do something, I promise. Because I can now do that. Why couldn't I do that before? Oh no, I can't do that. I need refined mercury. Right. Okay. How are we going to get the refined mercury? We're going to do. Oh, we got 4 wilds. Well,
Seems like
I think with this current rule set, wilds are the obvious choice.
Unless you want a black die.
Unless you want a black dice, which I don't. So I think I need to take one of those, and I think it needs to be. And if I want that, I need that. Okay. How are we going to do this? Yes. Okay. I am going to take the white wild dice. So it's potency 4, because there are 4 dice there. And I'm going to choose. I'm a big fan of iron. I do like me iron. So I'm going to have potency 4 iron. That gets me 1 iron. Right. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. If I've got this right. We are going to use 1 white potency to do 1 white transmutation. And I am going to transmute. Just looks at the book to make sure I haven't messed it up yet. I'm going to transmute this unrefined tin into refined mercury. So that's white, and I'm going to use this salt. So this salt moves me up here. Okay. Then, because I did a white transmutation, I can do this. So I gain an Aqua Regis token. The player with the most of these at the end of the game wins. Yep. And I move. I move 1 space up on the track, which I'm the lowest on. Now this is interesting because I'm 1 on here, 1 on here, 2 on here, 1 on here. So it's going to be this one. Okay, that's that done. Then, as a free action, I'm going to do my first experiment. So let's check that I've got this correct. This is the experiment that I'm doing. I need to have 2 up on the fire mastery track, which I do. I need to have 2 unrefined lead, which I do. And I need to have 1 refined mercury, which I do. Excellent. So I spend that, and the experiment is done. I get 1 refinement, so that is up 1 thing up on a gold arrow. So I can move the copper to there, for example, which is exactly what I need. And I get some unrefined tin, and I get 3 points. 3 points. And I unlock my red book. So that is completed. Where's this going to go? It's going to go here. And then, I'll tell you what, I'm so close to doing the second experiment already. But I can't. So, any other free actions that I want to do? No, we're good. Yep, that's it for me. Pete, you're next.
Okay, I'll have this.
There's 2 red dice between Pete and Mark's board. There are. What are they doing there?
Those should be there.
Well spotted. Those should be there.
Oops.
Oops. Thank you for that.
That might change what you want to do.
No, it didn't change what I was going
It
to
might
do.
change what
I'm
you
fine.
want to do.
I'm fine.
I'm still going to do this.
So it's potency 3, and you gain a lead.
Then I'm going to use my battery to do to do 2 transmutations.
Okay, first one.
First one. This doesn't work. No, not.
Nope, no battery time.
No, instead I'm going to take a card. I'm going to spend 1 point and take this one.
Don't forget you can take from
No, I
those.
can't. No, I can't because I've got 2 in my
You've
hand.
got 2 in hand, can't have more than
Yeah,
2.
you can't have more than 2. You can't. Not allowed to take a third.
No,
So
4 is right out.
I might have to, unless you by proceeding by way of 2.
Or is a permanent ban from the table?
I might have to put that die back for. I'm sorry. Really important to me that I do this, and I completely messed it up. So I need to do that, which means I need to have. Is anyone not right? Okay, I'm going to put. Do you mind if I put that?
That's fine.
Yeah.
I'll take
So-
this one
So
instead.
put the lead
Remember,
back.
if you're looking for elements,
Put the lead back.
Yeah.
Put the lead back.
Remember, if you're looking for
Yeah.
elements, that can give you anything.
But I'm going to. Oh, it's true. It can give me any of them, can't
It
it?
can give you any essence.
Sorry,
Essence.
yes, you're right. Yeah.
Right. So I'm going to use this at strength
So it's 3.
3 to take tin.
That's copper.
That's copper. Copper. Sorry, copper.
So potency 3.
Potency 3.
Gain a copper.
Gain a copper.
Gain a copper. Right.
Right.
Okay. Now I can use the battery.
So 2 transmutations.
2 transmutations. I'll do this transmutation.
Yeah.
Using sulfur.
So that moves you up here,
Yes.
which gets you one of these.
And I think I'll take a. What's this?
That is a grey marker, a grey element marker.
I'll take that.
Okay.
And put
So
a
you
grey
immediately mark-
element marker here.
Second transmutation.
Second transmutation will be mercury to here.
To refined iron. Yep. And what are you using to do that transmutation?
I'm going to use. I think I'm going to use salt.
Salt. Okay. So that's your battery used.
That's my battery used.
Yep. So you've not actually done a main action yet.
No. Then I'm going to take. Sorry, this is taking so long. Yes, let's have that artifact. It cost me 2.
Plus your 2, because of your special ability. You can have any
Take
red one. This one.
That one, please. Yes.
So that's got a blue element marker on it.
Yep. So I'll put that one here. I think. I'm going to put it here.
Okay.
I'll put it there.
Yeah. You can have a maximum of 2 artifacts in each section.
Okay. And
Did you get your blue element marker? You did. No, you didn't.
no, I didn't.
No, you didn't.
So I put that one here.
Yeah.
To bring up the blue. space. Now I can get my reaction in. So now
Okay.
I can do this.
So you need 3 up on this track, which you
Yes.
have.
Yep.
You need to have a refined iron and a refined tin.
Which you do.
Okay, and you get 2 refinements. Ooh, yeah, so you can refine silver into gold. Nice.
I can also refine
Mercury into
Mercury
refined
into
mercury.
refined mercury.
Okay, and you get a potency token. And you also get 4 points.
Yeah, it doesn't quite stop there, I don't think,
Because you also unlock your first red book.
which goes in here.
Okay, so because you've put it in there, you get the thing at the top and the bottom, which is another gold. And any 2 refined metals.
Unrefined.
Sorry, unrefined metals. Yeah.
So I'm going to choose to have those 2.
You also
You also get a fire element
Yeah.
for your sideboard.
Fire element for my sideboard.
Yeah, and that's it. That's that experiment done.
That's that experiment done.
Yes.
So it goes there.
Yes.
And then I can spend
You
gold.
could, or you could do that at the start of your next turn.
That's minus. Oh yes, I remember what that is from last time. Okay, and I can do another experiment.
Oh,
Am I
right.
allowed to do another
You
experiment.
can do another experiment if you want to. Yeah. So you need 3 up on this track, which you've got.
Yeah.
You need 2 lead and 1 unrefined tin. Yeah. You get an unrefined mercury. You move 1 up on this track, and you get 4 more points. Now, as we said earlier on, when Pete did his first red experiment, that unlocked his first red book. Performing a second red experiment does not unlock the second book. The only way to unlock the second book from each one is by spending gold. But you could actually spend the gold to unlock the first book,
Yeah.
and then the experiment to unlock the second one. Basically, each of the 4 colours has 2 books. One of those books will be unlocked with gold, and one of those books will be unlocked with an experiment, but it's up to you the order in which you do them.
Did I get another red?
Nope, you didn't.
You didn't. So you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You should have 7 markers in total, which you now do have. Okay, and did you get the points for that?
Yes, I'm
You
up
did.
to 11 now.
There you go. 2 experiments Pete is what we call it. Mark,
It's also evident.
do you want to go?
Sorry, you go. No, I would like to. I don't have any dice, so I guess I'm going to draft
Best you
one.
didn't take one.
I'm going to use my ability again, I think. So I'm going to draft a lead. I'm choosing a potency
Which
for
Lower than the
lower.
maximum, yeah. So you get a free lead.
I get a free
and
lead
another lead.
and another lead for taking this die. They don't call me 2 lead mark for nothing. Right, I need to actually do something, which is do a transmute. And yes, it needs to be that one. So I spend my ether.
Which moves you up on this track.
It does indeed. And I am transmuting. What was I transmuting? Not that one. Yeah, I'm transmuting a lead. No, sorry. I'm transmuting a copper into. Hold on a minute. No, I am going to transmute the lead into copper, sorry. And then this lets me activate one of these artifacts, which will be this one. So we're getting yet another Aqua Regis and another potency token. And I now can have the means to complete this experiment. I'm at 3 on the air track.
You are, yes.
I have an unrefined tin
And 2 refined copper. Okay, so it moves you 1 up on here.
That's right.
Gets you any essence
Any essence.
and 4 points.
I also. Oh, yeah. 4 points. Yeah, what essence do I want? Let's get some.
Is essence
Let's get
called,
some-
in the French version, is essence called petrol?
Could be.
No, let's get some more.
And you get a yellow element token on your
Do.
board.
Which will complete this. So that is
Mhm.
now officially scoring.
And you get your yellow book.
Do get
Your
my
first yellow book.
which is gonna go here.
Okay.
So that gets me a gold.
And two
Two
up
on
on
the-
this track,
Yeah, which means I can
which
take
means you
one
take one of those things. What would you like? A yellow element or a potency?
That's
token?
it's a fine question. I'll take the yellow, I think.
Okay.
Those aren't always easy to get. Oh, that does mean I have to commit to something now.
Yeah.
Which is that. Ooh. Yeah, let's go with this one.
Okay. Well, I'm having a very, very simple slow turn. I am going to spend one potency from an iron dice to take some ether. Done. After your mammoth 5-minute turn.
This game can be very
Sorry.
simple.
It can be very simple sometimes.
I'm going to use that 1 point of red, 1 point of copper to take this experiment.
Yeah.
Careful.
I don't know where they were.
And where were those?
Well, we can look back at the video. Thankfully, I'm live streaming this, so I can look back at the video and see where they were after I destroyed them. So it looks like I'm going to move this out of the way. Let's put it there. It looks like that's on the 2, and I think the other 2 are on the 1. Does that look about right? I know I was definitely on at least 1.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was at just 1.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
that'll do. There you go. And there's I knocked it over. Okay, we fixed it.
No, that's you finished, is it?
Yeah, that's the end of my turn.
Okay, I'm going to actually use one of these Aqua Regis tokens.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to briefly douse my die to make it red. And I'm going to take this experiment. I was briefly unhappy with you taking that, but I actually like this one more, so good job.
Well, I'm glad both of us are happy in the long run.
Mark should be on 2. Okay.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
I'm fine with that.
Thank you for checking. Here's Paul.
You can tell I'm definitely
Slightly
invested
offset
in
these,
that
maybe.
track. Oh, that's me done other than cheating and not spending
Okay,
potency.
so I am going to use my Aqua Regis to change that white dice into black. And then I'm going to spend 1 potency to transmute that lead into refined copper using this ether, which moves me up on that track. And because I've done a black transmutation, I can flip this over to get 1 Aqua Regis token and some more refined thing. Now, I think I can do this. Yes. Right, so I need 3 on that track, which I've got. I need to spend 1 unrefined iron, which I've got, and I need to spend 2 refined copper that's been really hard to get. Now, the bonus is I get an artifact for free.
Ooh, very nice.
Yeah, so I am going to take this one, which I'm actually going to put here, and that does a couple of things. I get a yellow marker, so I'm going to have that on there. Also, that's a yellow experiment, so I'm going to put that on there. And I immediately get to use its ability, which is another Aqua Regis and 2 more of this Mercury stuff. And I get another Aqua Regis.
Not far,
and I get 2
questionable.
points. And it's a yellow one, so I get to unlock my yellow book. Now, I don't want to copy everybody else, but I am going to put it there. So that gets me a gold. Always believing. And I get 2 potency tokens as well. There was a guy when I was in my first job that thought I looked like the lead singer of Spandau Ballet. And I'm like, I didn't see it. don't see it at all. So every time I walked in the room, he always used to sing Spandau Ballet songs. But anyway, I go off at a tangent. For more 80s references, join my Patreon. There will be more discussion about 80s
Well, I think
music.
we've already that can't be true because we've already established that you are Arsenal's goalkeeper.
Am I?
Yes.
All right. Is that another lookalike then?
A bit of moonlighting.
Yeah, when I'm not singing. I think, was that everything? Did I actually have an actual action? I did.
Good question.
Yeah, I did a transmute because the transmute moved me. I spent that to move me up that track to be able to do the experiment. Yes, we did.
Oh, we need a new artifact.
Oh, we need a new one. Yeah, most Aqua Regis wins. I've got 6.
I was getting there, and then I spent one.
Yeah, I spent 1 and then gained 2. Pete, this is still my first
I
dice.
believe we call that planting. That works, right? That's
Yeah.
where I
Okay, right. I think I know what I'm doing this turn.
Probably doing that.
I think I'm going to. I think I'm going to take that black one.
4 iron.
4 power to your iron. And then I'm going to use 2 of them. Oh, I get a free iron. Doing that. I'm going to use 2 of them. Whoops. To buy
One of these,
that one,
which gets you 2 unrefined metals
which gets me 2 unrefined leads
and a potency token,
and a potency token.
and also gets you a grey element marker.
And a grey element marker.
I should have 5. I'm missing
Yeah.
1. Should have 3,
And
yeah.
then I can do an experiment.
Oh, I forgot to put a red on. Oh, for my first experiment. Yeah, I've got to put a red on.
So have I got 3 or more of those? I believe I do.
Here?
Four.
Yes. Yeah, you
Have
got
I
4.
got 2 unrefined leads? Yes. Have I got a refined mercury?
Yes.
Yes. So I spend those
Okay.
and I get 2
different
different essences. I think one of them is going to be salt, and the other one is going to be sulfur.
Okay.
Thank you very much. And so for doing this, completing it, I also get one of these, aqua,
Regis. Yep.
and then I get a yellow
Element.
element.
Yep. God, look at that.
And I get 4 victory points.
Jay Rear has said, yeah, by stacking the artifact, you put in a limit to the cascading phase. Yes. So even if you do a white transmutation when you have 2 artifacts, you can only activate 1 of them, which is why last round, Mark did 1 white transmutation, slow played, then did another white transmutation. And yeah, you can only have a maximum of 2 artifacts.
That decision was partly because of my power. I thought
Yeah.
slow playing might not matter as much to me if I can,
Mhm.
get the die I want. Oh, okay.
You'll go.
You did-
Still got 1 potency left of that dice.
Oh, that's a point. Got it. Yet. Right. What did I want to do with this?
Why did I choose
Oh, we need
this?
another artifact.
It's that one.
Okay. I'm going to use this plus 2 potency to take an artifact.
Yep.
Which will be this one.
So that
if I
gets
understand
you
that correctly,
An experiment
and 2 points.
and 2 points. Now, I assume that that's a free experiment because,
As opposed to.
well, the only reason I'm
The
asking,
opportunity
and
to
again,
play.
this is a prototype.
Oh, as in having to pay.
Yeah,
that,
so the
yeah.
thing that I got that
That's a
allowed
good
me to
point.
take an artifact for free had an icon to say for free.
So it could just be the opportunity to buy one.
So it's take a card. Yeah, now take a card. But where is
Okay.
it take a card for free?
Right, because if it isn't, then I can't do it because I don't have any potency left.
Yeah. I think it's got to be for free.
It needs to say
I
so,
think
though, doesn't
so,
it?
Yeah.
because Otherwise, it's
we'll,
got like
we'll
another
feed that back
action.
to the graphic designer. I think it needs yeah, it is for free. So
Yeah.
it just needs a little icon on there saying it's for free.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'll take this into my hand, which is my second card, so I may not have any more for the moment. And then that does spend that potency.
Right, back to me. So I've only done 2 experiments. You've done 4.
I've only done 2 as well. Sort of close to these 2. I
Okay,
think.
I'm going to drink another Aqua Regis potion. And I'm sure it's me drinking it.
Just
But
change your
this
perception
white
of
dice,
it.
which was white, then became black, is now red. And
Been a wild journey.
Poor thing's getting confused.
I'm going to use that. It identifies as all colours. So I've used 1 red potency to do 1 red transmutation using Mercury. I'm using Mercury to do the transmutation, which moves me up to position 2 on that track.
Yep.
And because I've done a red transmutation, I can activate this, which gets me back my Aqua Regis token and gets me 2 Mercury. Done.
I think you're going to have an easier time going up that track now.
Okay, let's have
Look at all this Mercury.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I need to take a day yet. I've still got stuff to do here.
If only that was my objective. It's not.
To collect all the mercury.
Now, if I want to do 2 transmutations,
2 potency.
2 potency,
Or 1 and a marker.
or 1 on the marker,
Does Mark
Yeah.
also need a red-green token for taking the artifact?
Yes.
So, a red-green token. Yeah, well spotted, Paul.
Good point. Which is going here.
And if you ever take a token and there's nowhere to put it, then you get a point. But only if you can't put it anywhere.
if I change the colour,
Yep.
does that colour apply to both
I
transmutations?
believe, and Casper will confirm this, I believe you change the colour
Off the die.
of the die for the whole turn.
Okay. In which case, I will do that.
Before you perform the main action. Yeah, it says for the remainder of the current turn. Yeah,
I'm
I
spending
was
that
right.
to make this white.
Mm-hmm.
You are white.
Thank you. And so I will do a white transmutation. That using using salt.
Move up to 3.
And then
Second transmutation.
because I've done that, I will use this to take.
Hang on, did you spend the potency to do that transmutation?
No, sorry.
So 1 potency to do 1 transmutation.
I'm spending 2 to do 2.
Okay,
So I spend them both together,
Yeah.
don't I?
Yeah.
So I'm spending 2 to do 2. I've done 1 transmutation,
yeah, which was white.
which was white. I'm then going to use this as a result, which gives me 1
1 refined metal.
refined metal, which is going to be
Yeah, this dice is in the wrong one. Well spotted, eagle eyes. I don't really want to move it now because it would change things,
Yeah.
so I'm actually just going to change it to
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah.
these 2 symbols are similar.
they are easily mistaken.
Yeah.
So you need to be careful with that. And then this one can go up to the 4.
Ding, 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 which gets you one of these. I've not got any
One
of
of
these
these,
yet.
not one of those.
No,
No,
4 is one of
no.
these. The 8 is one of those.
Okay,
Yeah.
so one of these,
Pop it in.
which gets me one of these.
Yeah. Yeah, you're doing really well on these tracks. And you're doing that by transmuting a lot, aren't you?
And this flips over,
Yep.
which means I get another one of.
No.
No, it's only when you get the.
Only when you buy it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, that's my go.
You did 2 transmutes. They were both white. Yeah.
Okay. So I then take a die. Something occurs, maybe I could do it that way.
Which of these did I use for the second one?
Oh, it's a good question.
I
don't know.
I hope I haven't cheated.
I think you might have done. I think you
Okay.
forgot to spend.
I forgot to spend another one. Sorry. In which case I will spend this one sulfur to go up on the
Yeah.
fire track. Apologies.
Well remembered.
Don't get it through that. So I'm definitely taking a lead die.
Black or white?
That's the thing I'm trying to figure out. So I'm probably just going to use my battery to do the transmutation I want to do. So it depends on if I'm going to do something that depends on black or white next, which is maybe black. Oh, I don't know. I think I just take the black. I've got so much Aqua Regis that if I've made a mistake, I can fix it later. So I'll take the black die.
Potency 2.
Potency 2. So I get a lead from that, and then due to my
You get
power,
another lead from
I
that.
get additional lead.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I do have a special power as well, but it hasn't kicked in yet. But it will.
So I will use my battery. So I'm going to transmute this, spending fire,
Sulfur.
sulfur,
Yeah, moving you to there.
and then using this artifact to move me up again.
Again. Yeah.
Right.
Second transmute.
Second transmute is undecided. Let's go with which do I want? Let's do this to silver, which spends my ether. I think gets me to 4.
You're on 4, so you
I
get the
take
last of
find
those.
One of those.
Missed out on those.
A potency bonus thingy. Right, then I can complete this experiment,
Okay, so you need 5 on the fire track, which
which
you've got.
I am at.
You
I
need 2 lead and 2 refined copper.
Yeah, which I have.
Nice.
This allows me to then do 2
2 refinements.
Ooh, I could do gold.
You could do silver into gold.
That's not a bad idea.
So yeah, if you look at the player board, this is a fairly new addition, but the space between silver and gold is both red and yellow. So you can either transmute silver into gold, or you can refine silver into gold. So yeah, if you watch anybody else's playthrough for this game, that might not be there, but it has been added to the game.
Okay, yeah, I am going to refine mercury into refined mercury, and I am going to
Silver into gold.
Silver into
Yeah.
gold. Do I want to do one of these now? Is a question. I'll hold off. I can always do that at a later turn.
And you get your points and your element marker.
I also haven't actually done anything.
Oh, you haven't done an action yet?
That was all bonus stuff. Oh, actually, sorry, I will have done that instead. Makes sense.
Okay.
And I think I'm just gonna use this potency.
Don't forget your 7 points.
I should probably get my points.
7 points and a red element and a book.
Yes, yeah, there's lots of things I should do. So 7 points and a book. I'll figure that out in a moment. Oh, I didn't get a basic tin either. And then, as you pointed out, I get a red element, which will go here. And then it's just a book, isn't it? Yeah. Right. I think I'm going to put that one there.
Mm-hmm.
And then my actual action is to spend this plus this potency
So that's 3.
just to get 3 lead
Oh, right. Okay.
for experiment-related reasons.
I go. I'm going to take this red iron. So it's potency 3 and I get 3 iron. Okay. Then I had a plan. What was the plan? Yes, I'm going to spend 1 red potency to take a new experiment card. And it's going to be this one. That goes into my hand. And sure, that's it. Nothing else. We're all good.
Okay, I'll take this strength 2 and I'll use one of them and a
Yep, 2 potency.
Two potency to spend 2 and buy this artifact, which is going to go here, and I get the benefits of it, which is to get that.
And you get a blue element.
Blue element.
You've almost finished your board.
And 2 upgrades, which is going to be
2 of the same.
2 of the same, which is going to be on this one. So let's go to here.
You're on 3. Yep.
So that flips. No, it
Nope.
doesn't, because I just bought it.
Yeah.
I think that's my turn.
Yep. Okay.
I was going to do something. Oh, actually. Oh, no, I don't. Oh, yeah. Oh, hold on. Yeah, I think that works.
Right.
Yeah, okay, this works. So I'm going to draft this red, whatever I want it to be, die.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be... Did I need... A sec. Yes. That's going to be a tin, because apparently I can't get enough tin.
Is that tin or lead? Lead.
Lead, sorry. And then I will paint this die black using an Aqua Regis and do 2 I don't have the things.
You have 1 mercury, but you don't have any essence.
Okay, yeah, this doesn't work then. So, never mind, sorry. Was it? I just gained 1, didn't I? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine, I can do that next time. So instead, I will take this copper. I'll get my Aqua Regis back. Sorry, not copper, iron. Put that there. Then I will transmute. It's going to
A white transmute.
not transmute. I need the thing. That's fine.
But you can. You can do 1 transmute with your essence. With your mercury.
Oh, I've got the mercury.
You've got mercury. You can do 1
So I could-
transmutation if you
Which
want.
also means it would be that one. Is that to do?
Pete
Yeah,
didn't get the metal related to the dice he took. Apparently. Thank you. Thank you, Paul. So when you took this die, you should have gained a
Oh, thank you.
good spot. I got 2. You go. You got some down
You've
there.
got piles of them down there.
You
Oh,
got
yes,
them
I got. Oh, there are some here. Yeah. So it should have been one of these, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, so I am going to transmute this using the mercury.
Yeah, using mercury moves you up this track.
Yeah, which flips over this because I've done a white.
Oh, right, which is take another card for free on another 2 points.
Yeah. It's a good question what that card is, though. I think it's so hard to do. I don't think it should be that. They're all really hard to do. What have we done? See, what I haven't done is I haven't done a grey experiment, but they're incredibly difficult. So I don't think I'm going to try and do that. So let's take. Where am I on that track? All right, let's take this one.
Oh, you're done.
Yes.
Right. If I've got this right, I am going to use my battery to do 2 transmutations. Each transmutation is going to be using mercury, which moves me 2 up on this track, which is going to get me a bonus. But we'll do the bonus in a minute, because the 2 transmutations I'm going to do are 1 and No. Not that one. Put it back. 1, 2. So I did 2 transmutations using Mercury. That moved me up this track. Okay, now, because I've arrived at space number 4, I get one of these bonus tiles. Who's stolen all the bonus tiles? Oops, you lot. However, my special ability kicks in. Hooray!
Yay!
So whenever I reach position 4 or 8 of one of these tracks, I get 2 refinements. So,
Very good.
yeah. Oh, actually, I was going to be okay. But that's fine. I'm going to do 1 refinement there. And 1 refinement. Oh, that's actually the same. Oh, I need to be looking at what I need for next time. Tell you what, let's just move that up there. Yeah, okay, right. How did I get 2 refinements? Because of that. Okay. I still can't do it. No, but that's fine. That's my battery. Yeah, it's fine. I've messed this up. I could have done it much more efficient way. So I'm then going to use 1 red potency and another Mercury to do 1 more red transmutation. And that is going to be here. And now I think I can do this. It's a big one. I need 5 up on the mountain track, which I've got.
Yep.
I need 1 refined Mercury, which I've got. And I need 2 refined iron, which I've got. Right, so all sorts of things happen. It's a grey experiment, which means I get a marker on there. I unlock my grey book. I'm going to place that in a minute. I get 5 points, putting me on 10. I get 2 of the same unrefined metal. And I believe it's just these 4. I don't believe it's iron. Or maybe it is.
Really?
No, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see 5 colours there. Yeah, graphically, Casper, if you want to make note of this, the 5 colours on here, it'd be nice if they kind of matched the order in which they were on here. Just from a visual point of view, that might be nice. But anyway, it's just me. So I get 2 of these that have to be the same. I'm going to take 2 Mercury. 2 Mercury. I get to revitalise my battery. And I got the 5 points. And I did the thing, and I did the thing, and I've unlocked the book. Right, now the book is going to go here. So what that does is I've completed that column. I move 2 up on this track. Right, which is there. And I also get 2 essences. So I'm going to take 2 ether.
Yep.
And then because I've moved up on this track and I've hit position number 4,
You can do.
I get to do that again. And I get 1 refinement and another refinement. How do you like them apples?
You're leaning that like that.
I mean, that was a pretty awesome turn. I'm happy with that.
That's not bad.
Now, the thing is, I now have 3 gold. So have any of us actually spent gold to buy any books yet? Don't think anything that we haven't, have we?
Yeah, no.
But I think it's imminent.
Yeah, I've been debating if I want to do it.
Yeah.
soon.
So the first book that you buy with gold costs 1 gold. The second book you buy with gold costs 2 gold. The third one costs 3. The fourth one costs 4. I have moved on fire. I should have moved on air. What did I move?
You moved 2 spaces up on that.
Why did I move on fire?
I'm not sure.
Did you use?
Okay. Apparently, I moved on fire when I should have moved on air.
Did you? How did that happen?
Using ether.
No, I gained the ether. Remind me how I moved up. Paul keeps his extra potency tokens on his playboard.
Book reward.
Oh, I forgot about these.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, it was
Yeah.
it was from that.
Oh, it was for that. Okay, thank you. So it should have been 2. Okay, I've lost track of where it was.
You moved it up 2 spaces.
So I guess it would be.
So
two
that must have
down.
been on 2, and that was on 3. So that must be on 5.
Yeah.
Is that right? I'd completely forgotten I had these.
Oh, yeah. They're quite useful, aren't they?
Yeah, very, very useful. Yeah, so that wasn't a deliberate thing to put them on there. Fire should be 3, air should be 5.
Which we
Okay.
have. Oh, okay, yeah.
Right. So yes, I could, if I wanted to, start spending the gold to do the extra stuff, but I think I don't need to do it immediately. So, hey.
Okay, that plus a potency marker is worth
that
2.
changes everything.
That changes the die colour to red, which buys me that artifact on the end there, please.
This one?
Yes. Which.
Oh, is that all of your artifacts?
Here.
Wow.
Which gives me
1 transmutation.
1 transmutation.
You have to pay for.
Which will be, let's turn you into silver. And I'll pay for that
With ether.
with ether.
Get the right track. Yeah, that's that one. Okay.
Ether ore.
Okay, 5 should be 2. I thought so. There we go.
And then I will advance on the
Any track.
this one.
Yep. It hits you on position 4, but there's no bonus
But
tile.
also I get a blue thingy. A
Yeah,
blue,
there's only 1 space left for that.
which goes there.
You with your artifacts.
And I think that's the end of my turn.
Mm-hmm.
Unless I choose to do any of this, which I don't.
Oh, and end of the round for you.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll be passing next turn.
I've got loads to do.
I'm still on. Actually, no, this is my third die. I'm almost.
Yeah, I'm still on my second die.
So I'm doing a fairly simple turn of just gaining an essence, which can be anything. I will gain some salt.
Right. Me?
Yep.
This is iron. So I'm going to use 1 potency. And it's iron, so I can get any essence. And I'm going to get some salt.
Okay, so did you just pass or no?
He is now passing, I believe.
I now
Yeah.
pass.
As am I. And then
Right.
you get to have
I don't know if you two want to go for a break, maybe play a game of Through the Ages or something, because I might be a while.
play some Mage Knight.
Yeah, a quick game of Mage Knight. So, I'm going to try and do the thing that I tried to do this afternoon and failed, but it might just work. I am going to take a dice. Now, what's left? There's not much. I'm going to take this one. And so it's 2. What do I want it at? Oh, where am I on the blue track? 1. Oh, actually, it does work. Oh, it does work. Right, okay. So, just looking at the requirements of that, is that and that. I'll tell you what. Yeah, it's done it. Right. I don't know what I want. Let's take some more iron. We like iron, so I get a free iron. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to spend 1 red potency to buy a discarded experiment from the previous turn, which is going to be, I believe, this one. No, not this. Nope, the other one.
That one.
This one. So these are the experiments that we discarded at the end of round 1, and you can buy one of them with any 1 potency. I'm then going to spend 1 gold to unlock my first blue book. So just to show you that you can unlock your first book with gold. Now, where's this going to go? It's going to go here. That doesn't unlock anything. But because I have unlocked my first blue book, the mastery requirement of all blue experiments is reduced by 1. So this experiment that I've just took, that would normally need 2, I only need 1, which is good, because I only have 1. So now I can do this. So I need to have a refined copper and an unrefined mercury. I spend that, I get 2 up on different tracks. So I'm going to move 1 upon this one. That's not me. 1 upon this one. And 1 upon this one. I get 1 sulfur. And I get 2 points. Okay? Now that is my first blue experiment, which means
You get that.
I now unlock that blue book. I also get a blue element thing on there. So now that I've unlocked my second blue book, what this means is that I now get a discount of any one metal on all future blue experiments. So if I was to do that experiment again, I could miss either that requirement or that requirement, which is, yeah, pretty awesome. And we're going to put it here, which means I unlock that, so I get two unrefined mercury and one up on any track, and I'm going to move up one on this track, which puts me there. Right. Then it's back to me. I've got 2 gold. I could unlock another one of these, but I don't want to be too greedy. Let's... I'm starting to run a little bit out of stuff. I don't think I can do that one. No, that needs 3 lead. That one's there, that one's there. Oh, got me battery. Still got me battery. Right, let's use my battery to do 2 red transmutations. So 2 unrefined iron into silver. And I am going to go up 1 on the ether track, and I'm going to go up 1 on the sulfur track. I might hang fire. No, hang on. Yeah, no, 1 on the ether and another 1 on the ether. So I've hit position 8. 2 things happen when I hit position 8. I get one of those. It's got to be that one.
Yeah.
It absolutely has to be that one. Which puts me up on any one, but I'm going to choose that one. And I get 2 refinements. 2 more gold. I think this is my plan, is take loads of iron, refine it into silver, and then use my special ability to constantly refine that silver into gold.
Very good.
He's doing
So
strategy.
If I really wanted to, I could now buy... Oh no, my second one would be 2 gold.
Yeah.
But I'm almost at the point of completing this. Which the first time I played this game, thought this was impossible.
Yeah.
And actually, it's one of those games where once you work the puzzle out on how you can do it, I think you can do it.
And it gives you 2 ways to do it. Do you do it more like gold?
Gold or... Yeah.
You know,
But you can only do 4 by experiments.
Yeah, but you can only have space for 7. So
True.
does your 4th one come from gold or from
Or from the experiment. I've still got 1 red potency left. Do I want either of those experiments? That is the question. I mean, experiments are points, but it requires 5. Which experiments do I want? Oh, I've only put it there and I'm never going to finish it. So, what else can I do with iron? I can get an essence. I don't need an essence. I could get another iron.
Get an iron, yeah.
I'll take an iron. Right. I think that's it. I think I'm done. Big turn. So, end of round 2. Turn order. Resets. Artifacts. Reset. Batteries. Reset. These artifacts all disappear. 3 experiments fall off the end. There were no artifacts left in the bag for round 2. But I suspect Pete's not going to be buying any more artifacts. He's got 6.
Only that.
Not allowed to.
Where's the deck 3?
Deck of 3s. Now, these are big numbers on these, like 7s and 8s.
Yep, these are all 8.
Right, so we need to use all of the dice and put them in the right position.
So we'll
Just for fun.
be a bit more careful with it this time.
Well, it's the lead and the tin. They do look similar. And that's not a fault of the graphic design. These are the actual symbols for these elements. So blame chemists or whoever it was. So I was reading a little bit about alchemy earlier on today on Wikipedia, which, assuming it's true. And do you know in what year did the human race actually manage to transmute one metal into another metal?
Nope, don't know.
They did it.
1944. It wasn't when they did the Manhattan Project.
1980.
Oh, 1980.
So in 1980, somebody managed to convert, I think it was bauxite, into gold. Actually managed to transmute one element into another. But it took so much energy that it's actually easier to mine. It's much cheaper to mine new gold. So it did happen. We have managed to actually do it, but it's not worth doing. Basically,
we rolled no wilds.
No wilds. Okay, what else do we need to do at the start of the round? I think we're good.
Have we done all these? Yes, we have.
Yeah.
I think we are good. Right, final round. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
Well, I think I need some mercury, so I'm going to take. Let's have that. Strength 4. I'll spend one.
You get a
point.
mercury.
I get a mercury. Thank you. I'll spend 1 point to take this card. I think. Do I want to do anything interesting? Probably not.
That's a problem.
No, I'm not going to do anything else.
You're all good?
Yeah.
Okay. So that is the only way to get around.
I'm third. Don't like going third. James wants me to say aluminium. I can say aluminium if you want.
No, I don't need to do that. Okay.
Or aluminum.
Yes, for the Americans audience.
Don't quite have enough to do.
It does pain me. I'll be honest. It does pain me to have to say counterclockwise in a lot of my videos.
Yes.
But you say anti-clockwise, and a lot of Americans go, "What's anti-clockwise?" I don't know what that is. So
Okay.
it's like antipasta.
Ugh. Right. So if I want to get that, I'm gonna take one of the
You're going to take one of these nice, good, juicy copper
I'm gonna
dice.
take a copper. It's just what colour is it? It's the eternal problem.
That symbol means.
So you get 3 transmutations, but
Yes.
you must use the same essence for all
Right.
3.
Okay.
Actually, hang on. Yes, no, that makes
Brian
sense.
is saying the first artificial transmutation was 1925 by Patrick Blackett, a research fellow working under Rutherford with the transmutation of nitrogen into oxygen. Yeah, interesting. Okay,
Right.
it was the metals transmutation that I think was 1980.
Okay, I will take that. Then I think I pay. Oh, hold on. Yes, because I only need one. I pay a gold
To unlock
place.
your
Was it only that one? Yes, it was going to be my yellow book.
Mhm.
Which is going here.
okay, so
So
that
that's
completes that column
2 Acroregis.
and 2 potency
2
markers.
potency.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, right, I need to do that. That's fine. So then I will simply spend this to gain an ether. Oh, right, and then I do this. Oh, which way around do I do this? Do I need that? Damn it, I need that. Right, so I'll flip my battery to do 2 transmutations.
Yep.
Spending these, which means I'm moving up.
You're moving one up on this track.
Yeah.
And one up on this track.
Track.
Yep.
So I will do this one and then flip this.
Mm-hmm. Another
Regis wins the game.
Don't forget to spend your 2 essences.
Yes. And then the other one is actually going to be this one, which I'm mildly questioning, but I don't really want to waste it. And then that means that I can complete this experiment. So ordinarily I need to be on 5 air, but I've unlocked this, so I only need
So
to.
you only need 4?
I am already on 5 actually.
What?
Because I just
Of
went
this
up.
one? You did,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
And it requires 2 basic lead.
3
require
refined
3.
copper, but -1 because of your knowledge.
Exactly. That then flips my battery.
Yep.
And gives me 3 different essences.
Which is 1 of each.
1 of each.
Yeah. And 6 points.
Oh yeah, that's probably also important.
And
too.
a yellow
And a
element marker.
element marker. Which will go here, I guess.
Okay, my go.
Yeah.
I had this planned, but I think I've now forgotten. Nope, it's going to be iron. We love iron. So that's 3 potency. I get some iron. Right, then, before I take an action, I'm going to spend 2 gold. So I'm unlocking my second book, and it's going to be... Oh, I'd worked this out and then forgotten. It's going to be this yellow book, and it's going here. Now it goes here, which unlocks all of this, so I get to take an artifact for free. So I'm taking this artifact. I also get 3 unrefined metals, and it's going to be, just work out what I need. I need one of those. Do I need one of those? In fact, I need 2 of those. Oh no, I can do it a different way. Yeah, okay, I think that's fine. Right, and then the artifact gets me 2 essences of any type. So I'm going to take 2 sulfur. And I do 2 transmutations. So the first transmutation is going to use a sulfur and move that to there. Because I've used sulfur, that moves to there, which means I get 2 refinements. So that goes to there, that goes to there, and because I did a red transmutation, I can flip that over if I want to, but I might hang fire on that. Yeah, I think I'll hang fire on that. No, I'll do it now. Yeah. Aqua Regis and 2 mercury. Right, my second transmutation is also going to be with sulfur. And it's going to be that. Did I do my second? Did I do my second refinement? I can't remember if I did. For hitting. No, don't know. Anyway, so I did that. That got me this, which I've then used, and I'm going to put it there. Right. Okay. So I haven't had my actual turn yet. I took a dice. I then unlocked a book with gold. Unlocking the book got me that, which got me that. Right. I've still got my battery. What? Wow. Why did I take white? I needed black. I've got these. It's fine. It's absolutely fine. Can I do that? No, I'm unsure. Okay. So, and I've already used an artifact this turn. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spend... We do need a new artifact out. think I'm just going to spend 1 iron potency to take 1 sulfur. And sure, that's fine. I can do the rest on my next turn. Pete,
I'm going to spend gold
I did my second refinement. Thank you.
to put that in there, which means that I'm going to take 2 sulfurs,
2 essences, yeah. And 1 up on any track.
1 up on any track. I'm going to choose.
Oh, I know what I forgot.
This one.
Yep. I've got to get a yellow thing. Yep. Good.
And no, yes, it is in the right place because I haven't used it yet. So then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to buy a next thing. Right, got this. I'm going to use my battery.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do 2 white transmutations. So 1 is going to be there using sulfur.
So using sulfur moves you up there. Yeah.
This one is going to go to there using sulfur,
which moves you up to there.
and then I'm going to then I'm going to use a point to take this card.
Yeah.
Then going to play it.
So what do you need?
The other thing I can do is
You did a white transmutation.
did a white transmutation, so I don't want to miss my opportunity. I'll do
So
that
any 2 essences,
to take
as long as they're not the same.
so 2 different ones.
2 different ones.
They can't both be sulfur.
Yeah.
Even if one. Okay.
Even if one's sulfur disguising itself as
it's hiding. It's
Anyway.
it's wearing a moustache and spectacles. Okay, then I'm going to play this.
yeah. So you need
Right.
8 up on this track. Well, you actually only need 7, which you
is what
have.
I've got.
Yeah.
I need
3 refined
1
iron.
gold.
Yeah, you can always use. I didn't mention this, but you can always use gold in place of anything
Okay.
else. It's a wild card.
So there's my 1
Oh,
gold,
but you need a gold.
and I need 2 of these because I've got the
-1
upgrade
discount.
here.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm spending these 2,
Nice.
and that gets me any 2, and they can be different. So, or they can be the same.
They can be the same.
So they can now go be sulfur.
Right. Okay.
So finally, sulfur gets its revenge. And also, I can then do
Any 1 refinement. Sorry, any 1 transmutation.
any 1 transmutation, which could be a red one.
Yeah.
And if it's a red one, it could.
You've already used 1 artifact this turn.
I can't use an artifact. No. Okay. But I also
You
get
still have to
12.
pay for it. You want to pay for it with sulfur?
Yes. Please.
Okay. That hits you on the 8, which gets you 1 of those.
I'll take the.
Potency.
Regis wins the game. We've been through this.
Upper potency.
So I get 12 points.
Yep. And that's a red element. Yeah, you've almost completed your sideboard. Nice. Okay. All done?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can't quite see this on camera, but Pete has done 3 red and 2 yellow experiments. I have just done 1 of each, because I've been trying to do my experiments to unlock my books, what I've been planning. It's kind of worked.
Okay. So,
Oh,
I did all these, didn't I? Yeah. So, yeah.
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
so how am I going to do that? Do I need...
Six.
Get
Well,
12. 13.
No, it's only if you've unlocked all
Of
that.
course, yeah.
I'm gonna spend an Aqua Regis to
Yeah.
spray paint this red and take this off.
Just boom, spend all 3.
Yep.
What does it do?
It gives me a gold
And a potency
and a
marker.
potency marker.
Right.
So now I have 2 gold. I can spend it to unlock this, putting it here.
Getting movement up on 3 different tracks.
Yep. Which will be this one,
This one.
this one, and this one.
Yep. And also 3 salt.
Yes.
Too much salt is bad for you.
That's why I need to spend it. If I have too much left at the end of the game, it dehydrates me and I lose. Right, so yeah, I've placed those. Now that that's the case, I can flip this battery.
Okay, yep.
So I'm going to do 2 transmutations,
transmutes.
which will be this.
Danielle's popped in the chat. Hi, Danielle. Thank you for joining in.
Be this one. And no, that's fine. It'll be this one and this one. I'll flick this and go up on the fire track, which is yet another Aqua Regis. And now I've got a discount when completing the
Blue experiments.
I only need to be at 0.2, and I only need 1 of the and 1 advanced, 1 refined tin, and 1 unrefined copper.
He flips your battery back.
Yep.
Wow.
And
Combos.
moves me up on the track. Which I need to spend stuff for
You do.
transmuting, which will be these 2.
Which is 2 up on here.
Yep.
Okay.
And then I will move up on another track, which I guess will be this one.
Okay. And 4 points.
And 4 points.
And a blue element
And a
marker.
blue element marker.
Yep.
Oh, and also I should have got 1 for getting this artifact.
Should. You
And
should
that's
have
the
1,
wrong
2, 3,
thing.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
I've now filled that.
9. Where are you getting your 10th one from?
10.
How many experiments have you done? 4?
5.
5. There
That
you
one
go.
wasn't over there. That's
Okay.
what it was.
My go?
Yes.
Oh, I'd planned this, but then things changed.
Did we do things?
Well, I need to do another grey thing. So I could take another artifact, but artifacts use a lot of potency. So I kind of don't want to. So I think I'm going to do it a different way, which means this one, which... Oh, look at that. It needs silver. I haven't got silver. But that's really good. Really, really good. Okay. What am I? Purple. How do I get up to there? I do that. Okay, this will work. Yeah, this will work, he says. Because... Okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to spend 3 gold. I've never done this before. I am going to unlock my final book. Put it in there. Right, so I get that and that. So, 2 Aqua Regis. That's the easy one. How many you got now, Mark?
I've only got 6. You're winning.
7, 8, 9. So I got that. I also get 2 essences. I'm going to take... I'm going to take ether and sulfur. Okay, I get 2 transmutations. So the transmutations are going to be a red transmutation along there, spending spending a sulfur. Okay, and then also a mercury along there, spending a sulfur. So because I've done a red and a white transmutation. No, I'll tell you what, I'm going to take that one back. I'm going to do a red transmutation, a black transmutation along there, which means I get to activate one of these two things. I'm going to activate this, which is, this is a bit crazy, but I'm going to have another one of them and another one of them and do two more transmutations. Right, which is going to be a white and another white. Okay, spending. Now I'll tell you what, make it a white and a red. Spending a sulfur and another sulfur. So that moves me 2 up on there, which means I've hit space 8.
Yep.
Which means I get one of these, which is your favourite. We've run out. Oh no, there's one here.
I think by this point it's your favourite.
Yeah. And because I've hit space 8, I get to do 2 of those. I'm going to move 1 to there and 1 to there. Right, I have slightly lost track of what it was that I was actually doing.
Ooh, Daniel Tassini is in the chat.
I paid the gold to unlock the book. Yes, so I've done that, and I've done that, and I also get 2 potency markers. Right, that's it. The library's complete. I've got all of those bonuses. I haven't had an actual action yet. And my actual action is to spray paint this black.
Don't tell me you're actually using one of
and
those.
take this.
Mages.
No,
And
you're just supposed to collect those and
Okay,
display them.
and then I'm going to do it. Because I need 8 on... No!
You're 1 off.
Right, right, hang on. No, we're okay. I'm going to use the battery. No, I should just do this next time. Because then I get to use... No.
Have you used any of those yet?
I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've used one. Yes, I did want the silver for the experiment, but it's fine. I've still got 1 silver left. So, I think we're good, and I think I've not cheated. So, I'm going to use the battery to do 2 transmutations. The transmutations are going to both spend mercury. No, one's going to spend mercury. One's going to spend ether. So, that moves up to there. That moves up to there. And the 2 transmutations are going to be... I'll just do that. Right, and now I think we can do that. So I need 8, but minus 1. So 7, which I'm there. I need the silver, and I believe you can't get a discount of the silver. It's only those that you can get a discount on. So I have to spend the silver, but then it's either 2 copper and 2 refined mercury. I'll keep 1 of the refined mercury. I'll spend that. That gets me a gold. And 2 transmutations. Oh boy. So I'll do that using those 2,
Yeah.
which moves me up there and there. And when you get to the end, you get a free yellow element. Can I have a green gem, please? And another one. So 1 for the yellow, getting to the end, and 1 for the grey experiment. So there's the grey one, and there's the yellow one. And 11 points. Oh, God.
Also fairly important.
Wow. Yeah. That was an epic turn.
Hmm.
Yeah, these level 3 experiments are quite hard to do, but worth a lot. I just did like 7 transmutations in 1 turn or something. Crazy. Right, done.
Okay, 3 transmutations.
So those 2 and 1, all white. All white.
And
What are you using for that?
I'm using those.
So you move up on the sulfur track 2.
Yep.
1, 2. And what was the other one?
Ether.
Ether. Okay.
Ether raw. And then I use this to gain
Any 1 refined metal
any 1 refined metal,
from these 4.
which will be this one.
Yeah.
And then
on one of the tracks.
up on one of the tracks, which is going to be this one, I think.
Okay.
And that's it for me this turn. Flips because I,
Yeah.
Not really. It might come out. Right. So I think I'm taking a tin die, potency 3, spending 1 potency plus these 2 to grab an artifact.
Which one are you going to take?
It's going to be this
I
one.
have my eyes on that one as well.
Oh, hold on. Sorry, that means I take a white die, not a red.
Okay.
Where is this going?
These are worth 1 point each at the end of the game. Everything else is 3 for 1, but the potency tokens are actually a point.
yeah.
Okay.
Might matter if it's close.
Spend.
I suspect using them to take an artifact is probably better.
These 2 and get 6 points, which seems reasonable. And yeah, I don't have any. Oh no, now I've got these 2. But I don't have any of the things to actually transmute. So no, that's me. Oh,
Done?
hold on a minute. I took the wrong die. That one. Which is
Copper.
it's fine because it's still white and
Okay.
it's still the same potency.
You all done?
Yes.
I think I'm going to take... Oh no, I can't. I've got this. Let's... Okay, I'm going to use that 1 potency along with another 1 to take 2 iron. Done. There you go. Slightly shorter turn than my last one.
Sorry. Wanted.
3 mercury.
And can I trade this in for essence? I can't.
Yeah.
Can I?
Yeah. Mercury, no. Mercury cannot be traded in for essence.
Well, I'll just spend 1 point to have this card.
Mm-hmm.
I just messed up. Oh well.
That's my go.
Sorry, I have to do some serious rethinking because I made a big mistake. I did want the tin die. I genuinely don't see how to fix this. That can be an essence, I guess. Does that help? Ooh. I'm gonna have to. I can get. It's not worth as many points, but it's doable, and doable is better than not doable. So. How do we get I don't. Not this time. It's next time. There's no way I can get that. Ah. No artifact that gets you elements, is there? That's a problem.
Essences?
No, sorry.
Metals?
Metals.
No.
Right. What's this?
That is you activate an artifact.
Okay.
So you activate one of your other artifacts just as if you'd done a transmutation.
You would be flipping it over.
Yeah.
Yeah. That could work. It's the wrong kind, but it sort of works. Alright, let's.
You found a way out of your...
I'm struggling a bit. I don't think I can get the right symbols to do it. That's the problem. Right, so I can get that. I think I take that. I could get it from that, which would be enough, I think. So I think I do
Two potency,
copper.
just to take 2 copper.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
I'm going to take this. It's 3. It gets me a free tin. I am then going to use one of it, plus 2, to buy this fella, which I'm going to put here. And immediately I can, well, it's a red thing, so I get a red. Can I have a little green gem, please? Cool. So immediately I can spend a refined metal to get 3 points twice. So I'm going to spend those 2 to get 6 points. And that is my turn done. Here you go. Pete.
Okay, I'm going to do a black transmutation
Using Mercury. So Mercury moves you up this track.
Yep. And that allows me to activate this, which will get me 2 of anything. Those 2 of anything are going to be 2 those and 1 of these. That's my go. Done.
So that's the one. So I think I take this one, which gets me a Mercury. I have 2 things. We need 1 more. So spend that. Not, that's not very useful. There's no way I can get that. Might be possible. So I'll spend an Aqua Regis,
Turn your black dice into
a white,
white.
to gain that
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which gives me 2 more of these. Have we got another one?
Yep. And it gets you activate an artifact.
Which is that one.
Yeah. So 2 points and take a card.
Which is this one.
And that was a grey artifact, so you get to put a element marker on your little board.
I think I'm 1 potency short.
Green one.
Yeah. I think I've messed up. I think
Okay.
I'm 1 potency short. I'll try and figure it out in the meantime. So I think I want to do this.
Okay. Transmutations or flipping back an artifact. Nobody's ever done the second ability of this, I think.
Transmute.
I think I did it in the previous.
You did once, yeah.
Okay, no, that works. I'll transmute this,
Spending salt,
and then this,
moving you to there,
spending ether.
moving you to there. So you've hit space 8, which means
That's the wrong one. Oh wait, no, this means I can activate. Yeah, I can activate this one.
Yeah.
Which is 2 more of these.
plus the one from that.
God,
So you've got 3 more of them.
Are there even 3 more?
No. We're just going to have to use. There we go. Use these. 1, 2, 3.
That works. And then that means I can activate another artifact,
Mm-hmm.
which will be this one.
Which is a gold and a potency.
Yeah. Yeah, it's mostly that potency is quite
Okay.
important. That's it.
Right. So we've got 2 potency left on this one, and it's red. And I think I want to take another experiment. I think I can just about do this one. So it is red. I'm going to spend 1 potency. I'm going to take that. Yeah. Pete, you'll go.
I'm going to use that and a marker to get 2 of these.
To Mercury. Back to you, Mark.
I don't have the essence, so I can't do this experiment. Damn it. Is there anything useful I can do?
You can't get the essence because you've got a Mercury die, and Mercury doesn't get essence. But Mercury could get Mercury, and then you can transmute using Mercury.
I've
Does that
only
help
got
you?
1.
Oh, you only got 1, so you
If I,
can't.
if I had a free action, if I still had that, I'd be okay.
Right.
But I don't quite have it. I can. I'm 1 short because I could substitute gold.
You can use gold as
one
any
thing,
metal. Yeah.
and then I can get a discount of 1. So I've got 3 out of the 4 things I need. That's very frustrating. But I don't see any way around this. So I don't really know what there is a point in doing. I guess taking stuff. Oh, that's aggravating.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Can't. Fine. I will just take Mercury for. There's no point spending that because that's.
It's worth a point, whereas Mercury is a third of a point.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So I just do that
Yeah.
and be annoyed.
Right. I think it's an action to be annoyed. So
Ah, damn it.
can't
Oh,
do
I
it.
could have
Right.
done that instead. Yeah.
Right, I'm going to spend 1 red potency, but I'm going to colour change it to white to do a transmutation of that. Ah,
Yeah, Paul, the potency boost doesn't help me because I can't split the action.
Yeah.
You can get the thing, but then that means I don't have another action
Hang on.
to use it.
Doesn't quite work because I actually need that, and I've no essences. I'm in the same boat as you. I have no essences, and I can't use that Mercury because I need that Mercury for this. It's okay. I have another turn, so I'm just going to use that one potency, and it's this stuff. It's tin, so I'm going to take a sulfur, and yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Pete.
That should have.
Take your third and final dice.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm not sure I could have done anything to avoid this happening. It just weren't quite enough.
The stars just didn't align.
Yeah.
Well, if it helps, my entire game has been a disaster, so you'll probably win anyway.
I don't know. I think I'm doing all right. I've
Yeah,
learned from the game this
you might
afternoon.
want-
Yeah, no, I
one.
think Paul's won this one, but you're going to beat me easily, I think.
I've
So-
done very well at this.
Yeah, let's see what I'm going
And
to do.
reasonably well at that. But I've not filled this, and you have.
Did manage to fill this.
So unless you've horribly messed up your objectives, which I presume you haven't.
No, I
you'll
started
win.
strongly, but it's been a weak main game for me. But
So basically reversing position.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a disastrous game this afternoon where everything went wrong.
okay, well, I think all I can really do is this card. I can do it now, but then what do I do as well to get some stuff? Let's just have that
So it's potency 2.
potency
It gets
2,
you a free iron.
3 iron,
If only there was an action to convert these
And-
into potency. No, actually, that wouldn't have helped either.
those.
Convert them into essences. That would have helped.
I don't know. Use both of them, so I can't do any more of these. I've run them out. So I'll take 2 more iron.
You've got a final experiment.
Yeah, and I'll do this experiment.
Yep. So you need to be 6 on the fire track, which you are. You need 2 unrefined copper and 2 refined lead, except you get a discount. So you can keep one of those.
And I don't have any of the 3 essences, but I can use those, which gets me advancement of 3 points here.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, and then I get 3 of these. So that can be.
You've
1,
just done that, haven't you?
2. No, I've spent the.
Spent the mercury as the
3.
essences.
I
Oh,
spent
and you've
the
not done the
mercury.
actual transmutations.
Yeah.
Right,
And then
okay.
I get 1.
You
of
get a
these,
sulfur.
and I get
And you get 7 points.
7 points. Okay.
And you get a red thing on your thing, but you don't have space for red, so you get an extra point.
Yep.
Right. What was I doing? I need to do this. How was I going to do this? Well, I need to take another dice, and it'll be my third and final dice, and I need to get... And I need to do a white transmutation. So it needs to be white. Okay. White it is then. Although I can colour change it, so... What's the best one? I think it is this. Yeah, so I'll take this, which is potency 2. It comes with a free tin. And I am then going to use... Oh, can I... How many am I away from the top? 2 away from the top. So I think we can do this. I think I can spend 1 potency to get 1 sulfur. Yeah. I think I skipped Mark. I think you've passed, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pete, your go.
Pass.
Oh, okay. It's just me then. So I'm now going to spend my 1 remaining potency with my potency marker for 2 to do 2 white transmutations, each spending sulfur, which gets me to the top and gets me another green marker, please. That's a red element on there. And the 2 transmutations are going to be 1, 2. Okay, so I did the 2 transmutations, which were, oh no, they have to be white. Yeah, it was 2 white transmutations, so I'll just do that.
Have you spent?
I spent the 2 sulfur, which moved me up to the top of the track. Then I can do this. So I need 5 up on this, which I've got. I need 1 silver, and I need 3 of that, but I get a discount of 1, so I only need 2 of it. And I get 3 refinements. So 1, 2, 3. I get 2 potency tokens. I get 6 points.
Nice.
235. I did a white refinement, so I should have used this to get one of those and move up 1 on the bottom track. Doesn't really matter. But I got the 6 points, but importantly, it's grey.
That means you actually can complete.
I actually complete
Yeah.
that. Right, I think that's it. I don't think there's anything
Okay.
else I can do. I've done this. Yeah, happy with that. Whoa. Are we all done?
Yeah.
Right. Final scoring.
No,
What should
I
we-
mean I'm on 36. I think we should stop it there.
What should we do first? 35, 35, 36. Current scores. Let's do bugs first. Should we do bugs first?
Okay.
So I get 36 points. So I go
Yep.
to 71.
I've got 5 books, so I get 16.
I've got 3, so I get.
3 bucks is 4 points.
Oh, that I could very easily have spent a gold and made that up to 4, which would give me 8 points.
Do you want to do that?
If that's
Yeah,
okay.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spend a gold, stick another book in.
Haven't you already done 1 2 gold?
Yeah, it would be 2 gold for your second
Yeah.
one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Never mind.
Good spot. Good
Yeah.
spot. Speaking of gold,
So I get 4 points.
1 point per gold.
I get 1 point.
Okay. Potency tokens. 1 point each. Right. Leftover resources. So every metal and every aqua regis
Is it-
and every essence, add them all up, divide by 3. Not counting the gold that's already scored. 1, 2, 3,
6, 2.
I get 5.
4. Okay. Right.
Who won the Aqua Regis in the end?
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I had 10 as well.
Okay, we both had 10
Tie.
Aqua Regis. It's a tie. Okay. Now, is the last thing to score the objectives?
I
We also
think so.
have.
Oh, yes,
yeah,
the tracks. So this track, nobody got high on this track. Okay, this track, I got 7.
Okay.
So I get 7 points for being on there. 87. This track, I get 7. Pete, you get 4. This track, Pete, you get 2. Okay, that's it for the tracks.
Mhm.
Right, it's this stuff.
Now is the objectives. I'm just going to show you my player board again, and this is how these objectives work. So I'm going to flip this one over, and that means for every experiment that I did, I get 1 point, and if the experiment was red, I get an extra point. So I've done a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 experiments, which is 6 points, but an extra one for that. So that is worth 7 points to me. The next one is 2 points, because I put it in here, for every artifact, and an extra 2 points for every artifact which is yellow. So I got 5 artifacts in total, and 3 of them were yellow. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 16 points for that. So what was it for this? 7?
Yeah.
7 for this, 16 for that. So that's 23 in total. And then this one is 3 points multiplied by whichever of those 2 tracks my marker is the lowest on. And thankfully,
Max it out.
I managed to max out that and that. So they are both on position 11 So that's 33 points.
Plus 26 for the others, was it?
What's that? 1, 2, 3. That was 16. That was 23.
No, 23.
Plus 33
It's
is 56. Right, I get an extra 56,
So you're on 150.
which is 150.
That's the highest.
That's
score
the
I've
highest
seen.
score I've seen
Yeah.
in this game. I'm going to use that as a 1. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Right, Pete, what was your ×1 multiplier?
Well, I didn't get it.
Oh, you didn't get it. Oh, yeah, it only scores if it's complete. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah, it's the
So
thing.
here I have my artifacts. I have 6 artifacts. So
How many are
6,
blue?
7, 8, 9, 10.
So
So
20
10
points.
times 2 is 20.
Yep.
Here I have.
Which one did you put? Oh, you put the tracks. So you're on 9 and 10. So it's 9,
Times 3.
27.
Yeah.
So 20,
95.
yeah, 95. Okay.
Yeah.
Mark.
You might have beaten me actually. So I'm getting.
So again, you didn't manage to finish off your
No.
first one.
I'm getting.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 20.
Yeah.
79.
Yeah, but I've not done as well as you did on this. It's 3 points for these, but it's for yellow.
So
I
3
only
points
got
for
2
every
of those.
experiment.
So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
24.
Which is 24. Okay, just about scraped it. So it's 103. I think is the worst I've done at this game.
There you go. I think we're done. Hopefully. Yeah, the bonus scoring with the green gems is improved over the cards that gave you scoring in the original. I don't remember that much. So again, sponsored playthrough, so we're not going to give any opinions. But based on my previous play this afternoon, I'm very happy with that score. Because I messed up this afternoon, and I went into this evening's playthrough just going, don't make the same mistakes that I did. I didn't expect it would work out as well as this, but about halfway through, when things just seemed to be rolling, the big problem that I had this afternoon, I just didn't have the metals.
Yeah.
I was really short on metals all game, which meant when I got to trigger my special ability, I didn't get to do anything. And in this game, I deliberately said, right, I'm just going to take loads of metals. You were advancing up the track so quick, all of these had gone before I even got there. And you started off really well. I think you were going with a do lots of experiments and not bother with the books, which is what, to be fair, it's what Pete did this afternoon. And he won
Yeah.
quite easily this afternoon by not going for the books and just repeatedly doing the same experiment over the same colour. You did what, 8 grey experiments this afternoon?
I wasn't trying to do that though. I was trying to do something different
Right.
From this afternoon, just to experiment and see how to make the game work. And I was looking to get up as many tracks as possible, as far as possible.
Right.
And my whole game just kind of fizzled halfway through as a result of that.
That's when mine got good.
Yeah.
So thanks for that.
That's okay.
I stole your life force.
Yeah, my mojo.
And what happened with you, Mark? It's something in your thing. You were one short of doing the thing you needed to do.
Yeah, so in fact... I scored 1 less point. So
Okay.
I hadn't actually done that one. So yeah, I mean, this one...
Well, 3 less points
This cost me...
if it was in there.
Yeah, this cost me... Oh, you're
So
right.
99.
Yeah.
Because so much of the game is very precise planning.
No, I was on 103, so...
Yeah. In order to do an experiment, you need to be a certain level up on a certain track.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you get up a certain level on a certain track? You transmute using that essence.
Yeah.
So you've got to get the essence. So even just to meet the basic requirement of doing the experiment, you need to have gained essence. You then need to somehow do a transmute, either with your battery or with potency, to spend the essence in order to move up a track. Right, now you've got the right thing. Then you need the metals. But if the metals aren't in the right place, you need to take the dice corresponding to the metals to gain the metals,
Yeah.
or refine them or transmute them so that they're in the right place. And all of that takes planning and preparation. Now, again, no opinions here because it's a sponsored playthrough. I don't do games that are heavy on planning. So there are certain games which require planning to such a degree that I just can't do them. This game I can do. So
Yeah.
it's got it. but it hasn't got it beyond my capability.
You also,
But if you get it slightly wrong, then it don't work. And that's where you were. You were one
I was
short.
one short. I mean, I just can't remember to say, but I'm not sure there was a way I could have avoided
Right,
it,
okay.
other than I just went down a path that wasn't viable.
So,
but it was
in other words, you
couldn't-
took an experiment
that I wasn't able
that
to
you
do.
then weren't able to
Yeah,
do.
but I couldn't.
But
see
unless
that.
you sat down and actually
Exactly.
planned it all out, yeah.
And I
okay.
didn't want to spend all that time doing that because
Yeah.
that would take too long.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? You've got two choices. Do you look at an experiment and go, right, I think I'm going to be able to get that, so I'm going to take it before
Yeah.
somebody else does? Or what I was doing is I was looking at them. So the one over there that I took in round 2, I looked at it. I thought nobody else is going to take that. So I looked at it. I looked at what was needed. I got the stuff that was needed, and then I took the experiment.
Yeah.
The downside of that is if somebody does take it before you,
Yeah.
and then you've got all of this stuff, and you're like,
Yeah.
what am I going to use
that,
this stuff
that has
for?
happened to me in other games.
Yeah.
And when you were talking about the planning, the thing that I'd say in this is because, I mean, that there's an interesting dynamic where you might do things quickly to get stronger potency dice later, and it can help sort of limit the amount of, well, okay, I build up a plan of, okay, I'm going to do that, I'll get one of those dice later, and then by the time you get to that, 3 more dice have been taken and the potency is
It's
way
gone down.
different,
Yeah.
and you're short of what you need to do. So there's a bit of reacting in that respect.
There you go. Right, we are all done. So first of all, a big thank you to everybody for watching this evening, especially those people that have got eagle eyes and have kept an eye on a couple of small mistakes we made. As I mentioned at the start, this is still a prototype copy of the game. I know for a fact that there is one change that they've made that I know about, which isn't on this version of the game, and the developers of the game are going to be continuing working on it. It's going to be going to GameFound on the 22nd of May. What generally happens with games like that is every backer or the community will go on and start making comments and saying, oh, I don't like the way this works or that. And the team at Board and Dice will look at all of those comments and they might make some changes. I've already given them some of my feedback, some of which has already been incorporated in. And yeah, they're going to be taking on board all of that. I don't know when the game's going to be coming out. And I don't know, please don't ask me about the current tariff situation and how that's going to impact it, because I've no idea. Nobody knows. Nobody knows whatsoever. But yes, thank you very much to you two for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you to Board and Dice for sponsoring this video, and to all of my patron supporters that fund the channel. If you like the content that I create and you want to get access to the Gaming Rules community and some additional bonus playthroughs, then patreon.com/gaming rules. Other than that, what day is it? Friday? I've lost track. It's been a busy week. I don't have any more streams planned over the weekend, but I will be back next week with some more videos. Until then, take care and thanks for watching. Cheers all. Good night.